What was that?
And I said, you're kidding, aren't you?
Yep, got you.
the sights of beautiful Sydney. We've had a magnificent spring day here, right in the heart of Sydney. Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining us for our coverage of the 2023 Ladbrokes $1 Million Chase. And the old girl, Wentworth Park, she's looking an absolute picture. We've got a crowd streaming through the gates already. There's so much entertainment, but of course the real entertainment will come at 8:07 p.m. when we have the sixth running of the world's richest free entry greyhound race, the Ladbrokes $1 Million Chase. This promises to be a card that is one of the best of all time. Joining me, Tim Newbold from Greyhound Racing, New South Wales. G'day, Timmy.
Yeah, g'day, Duke. Sydney Town has put on a show today and tonight. Wentworth Park looking a picture. Can't wait to get into all of the action, Duke.
And Gabby Doxey joining us from Ladbrokes. Welcome, Gabby. What a night it is for the punters. I bet you a couple of those traders at Ladbrokes are just a little bit on edge at the moment.
Oh, it's a pleasure to be here. I'm honestly, the place is pumping already. I've never seen anything like it. Yes, look, there's a few well-supported runners here tonight, so very much looking forward to a great night.
Of course, we have got bands playing here at the moment. I think that's the McClimats. You're up with your country and western battle, surely.
Yeah, no, it is, Duke, but I won't say I am a country music expert, but yeah, no, they've kicked the night off, and it's nice and loud at the moment, isn't it, Duke?
And of course, we've got Shannon Knoll playing a little bit later after the big race. So it promises to be plenty of entertainment both on and off the track here at Wentworth Park. As said, this is the spiritual home of greyhound racing here in Australia. We've been racing at this venue since 1939. And since that time, Battler, you and I both have seen some of the true champions of Australian greyhound racing.
We sure have, Duke. Some unbelievable races. And of course, the $1 Million Chase kicked off in 2018, the sixth running, as you mentioned a little earlier. Mystic Right won the inaugural running in 2018. We've seen some outstanding greyhounds. Champions win the race in its short history. She's a Pearl won the first edition last year. Who will win it this year? Can't wait to get to around 8:27 when the race will be run, Duke.
All right, we've got a big team here from Greyhound Racing New South Wales for our showcase coverage tonight. Myself, Battler, and of course Gabby. But also joining us is Mick Cowley and Simon Orchard.
Yeah, thank you, Duke. As the bell goes off at the kennel block down here, Mick, a big night ahead. We are firmly in the throng. How much atmosphere is out here tonight? What are you looking forward to most about $1 Million Chase Grand Final night?
Mate, I guess the main race is the big thing you're looking for. But as you said, it's fantastic atmosphere down here. You've got the band playing, you've got circus characters roaming around everywhere. There's always a few clowns at Wentworth Park. We've got a few more tonight. It's a real vibe about it, and people are pouring in, which is fantastic.
What about a tip for the big race, mate?
I have to go with Passman Pat. I think if you look back $1 Million Chases, you get around that first turn in front, it's a big head start. I think 4 of the 5 so far have led around the first turn. It's a big head start. Obviously, JSJ will be camped on his back, but we'll see. It would be good for New Zealand, particularly if it did get a cash.
Yeah, you're spot on. I tell you what I'm looking forward to most, the celebrations. I spoke to Pete Lagagione earlier in the week. He said he celebrated with a packet of chips and a Bundy when he won his first, and Marie Smith said if she wins, nothing says millionaire like tracky pants, Bundy, and a packet of chips. So we'll get all the live action and reaction from down here trackside. Back to you, Duke and Battler.
Of course, that's standard fare at Muswellbrook, where Simon Orchard is based at the moment. The tracky pants, the Uggies, are here at Wentworth Park. We're obviously much more refined. Let's take a look at our schedule here at Wentworth Park. On our showcase coverage tonight, we kick off with the $1 Million Chase Maiden consolation at 6:09 p.m. The first of the listed races, the $1 Million Chase Maiden, $15,000 up for grabs. Go across to race 4, the Young Star, worth $25,000. Then we get into the big bucks. The Masters Meteor, worth $100,000. The Group 2 Sydney Cup, $100,000, and the big one at 8:27 p.m. local time, the Ladbrokes $1 Million Chase Final. It is the world's richest free entry greyhound race, $1 million for a little bit less than 30 seconds work. Let's take a look at the market for the big one, race number 8 on the card, and it's been a duel all week. Tim Newbold, I'll come to you first on this, between Postman Pat and JSJ. Postman Pat was the series pre-post favourite, heavily backed $10 into around that $5 or $6 mark before semi-finals. He holds the call at the moment at $2.45, JSJ at $2.95. And look, apart from that, they've all been around that sort of money. Tinker Norman, One Hot Bandit had some support.
Yeah, in early days of betting, as soon as the final field box draw came out, there was money for Tinker Norm, a little bit of money for One Hot Bandit, but Gabby will go through that in a moment. JSJ, he's got out a fraction. I love where he's drawn underneath Postman Pat. I think to win the race, he had to draw underneath Postman Pat, which he has. But I dare say, I wouldn't be surprised to see Postman Pat even trim up further, Duke, because he's got a very, very big following. He's got an astute trainer in Jason Thompson, the official trainer. He's in the hands of Peter Lagosiani for this series. But I think both runners will be well tried, the top two in the market, as we get closer to the race.
Yep, so 245 Postman Pat, 295 JSJ. Gabby Doxey from Ladbrokes. We've been betting on the $1 Million Chase for a number of weeks now. Which dog has the Ladbrokes traders most nervous about winning tonight?
At the moment, Postman Pat, the favourite. We've taken our biggest bet on him currently. I know there'll be more to come. They are very close in the way of bet count. However, JSJ is not too far away, has been very well supported today into $2.90. Tinker Norm, your next line of betting. But yeah, Postman Pat is the fave.
All right, so Postman Pat not only has the support of Victoria, where he's trained by Jason Thompson, he's got a whole nation on his back tonight, Timmy. I don't know where he's going to carry that weight as well as what he can.
Yeah, won't it be a real story that he came over to Australia? He's won 12 out of 16 since he's been here. He's run some flying times on a number of different tracks in Victoria, as well as up at Albion Park and now here at Whitworth Park. But yeah, a nation will roar if Postman Pat does deliver a little later on.
And I can tell you, in New Zealand, my son's there at the moment working on a gig, and he watched the national news bulletin the other night, and the lead story for sport was not the All Blacks playing in the World Cup, it's Postman Pat racing here at Wentworth Park tonight. So, of course, we've only had one interstate greyhound win the big one. That was McInerney in October last year. All right, the other feature event on the card is the Group 2 Sydney Cup. This is for the stayers over the 720 metres. We had two heats run here last week. Zipping Vanessa and Ritza Piper, they were the two winners of those heats. They are, well, obviously Vanessa is favourite. She won the New South Wales distance final here. Zohar Bale comes right into the race now off the inside box.
Yeah, zipping awesome. She was, zipping Vanessa, she was awesome. Leading all of the way in her heat last week, 41.54. Blinding performance. She has been a big drifter in the market, and the money has come for number one, Zohar Bale. He's a greyhound who's won 10 of his last 12, Duke. His run was just okay here last week. It was from an unsuitable alley, box 8. Now he draws box number 1, where he does want to be the punters of rally.
I tell you what, you can tell the depth of this race to me when you look at the market. Zipping Kansas, a 41.4 winner here. Corborn Magic 6 months ago, the best stayer in New South Wales, if not Australia, $21 and $26.
Yeah, quite remarkable. Both of those greyhounds could easily win the race. Zipping Kansas is at a crazy price. He could land on the lure here and run 41.4. If Corborn Magic turned up in his best form, he could blow them all away. If I was betting right now, Duke, I would have to have a definite saver bet on Zipping Kansas, Corborn Magic at those prices. They are crazy, crazy odds for two greyhounds who can run unbelievable figures on their night.
All right, so Gabby, we mentioned that Zohar Bale has been heavily backed off box number 1. What sort of fluctuations are we talking there?
Well, we've got $4 into $3.30. This is a very interesting race, though, in the way of the market. Zipping Vanessa has been slightly easy today. Ritza Piper has been supported at $4.40, but the one they've really come for at a price is the 2 Valpolicella, I believe it is. So $7.50 into $5.
It's a wine region in southern Italy.
Hopefully I said it right.
You did, Valpolicella. That's what I'm running with, so we're sticking. All right, the race for the veterans tonight, the veteran greyhounds, that is the Masters Meteor. That is race number 5 on the card. Fernando Hunter, owned by Brenton Avdulla, one of Australia's leading jockeys. He can't be here tonight, but Fernando Hunter, Tim, off the inside, a flashing second. He had the red light on him again, as he always does. He's come up 255. I reckon that's about bottom odds for him there.
I totally agree, Duke. If he'd drawn any other rally, if he drew probably 3 out of 8, he'd be $5, $6, I think, on his current form. He's a greyhound who is a desperate railer, so he's got his alley. He was moderately away last week and didn't show a great early pace, but then when he was making ground, he ran into a dead end. But look, he's going to get every chance from that alley. But I agree with you. I think he's got down to rock bottom odds now. I think this is one of the more open races of the evening.
And Zippy Tesla at $3.90. I thought he'd been disappointing at his previous couple of starts. He flashed home last week behind Aston Ulysses.
Yeah, spot on. His run last week was super. You know what? I arguably should have won the race. He probably took one or two wrong options in the race, and if he took the right option even once out of those two, he probably wins. So he's well drawn down nearer to the rails. If he gets an ounce of luck at any stage between the first corner and the 700-metre boxes, he'll be in the finish.
Gabby, it looks a nice race for bookmakers. We've got 5 runners, $6.50 and shorter. Aston Ulysses, I thought he's great value off his form here. What's been the best backed in the Masters Meteor?
Best backed is going to be the one, Fernando Hunter. We've taken our second biggest bet currently on him. He has been solid at the 250. Zippy Tesla, our next line of betting at 380. Stout Monelli, 13 into $5 today. So very well supported there. And Aston Barak, your next line. Pretty open here.
It is, and I'm sure there's going to be plenty of value on offer for punters, Timmy, throughout the night. I mean, we look at races, Zipping Megatron heavily backed and beaten in his debut performance in the $1 Million Chase Maiden. Again, he comes up with box one. Again, you've got to be brave to, I know plenty stepped in at the $1.30, $1.40 quote. One gentleman here declared him on the night unbeatable, put the house on it. Luckily I didn't. I still got a joint to go home to.
And what a joint it is. Look, he's got to mend those box manners. He began poorly and then he had a bit of a stumble on the mat and he was giving away a big start. His run was huge, but he's come up with box number one. He's been absolutely truckloaded again. They've chimed into Zipping Megatron. I'm looking for a little bit of value again in that race. Silent Accord, I thought, was really impressive, winning his heat in 29.70 odd. And if he can step cleanly, he'll be punching for the lead of the first turn. He's a very touchy beginner. But, Duke, I can see why they really came for the red runner.
All right, we have got a 10-race card here. The first race kicks off in around 7 minutes from now. Greyhounds are in the preview area. Let's take a look at the opening market for race number 1 on Ladbrokes $1 Million Chase Night, and the favourite Spring General for Scott Gord at $1.70. Then we've got Tier Tremor at $5.50. $7.50 about Cartier Race and $7 about Spring Eureka. With a lot of these greyhounds out, Spring General and Tier and Spring Eureka, both these greyhounds apparently trial well pre-heats.
Yeah, this is a very tricky race, Duke. Heavily backed Spring General on debut. He should roll forward. Cartier's Finest has got a good turn of speed, and Cartier Race from the inside should be punching up from that rails alley as well. All
right, Spring Eureka is by Scotty Board. It's being handled tonight. Is Down Kennels with Simon Orchard.
Jay, tell us a little bit about these litter mates, Spring Eureka and Spring General, mate.
Yeah, they're both got good ability, but they're just a little bit inexperienced. So probably showed last week, and hopefully they can improve tonight.
What about the trials, mate? What did they do before the start last week?
Yeah, they worked so heavily, but yeah, there's no doubt the ability's there. They got good pace too, so hopefully they got big futures.
Can you give the punters a tip which one you'd back?
If I'd be on one, it'd be on General, yeah.
Best of luck.
Thanks, mate.
All right, so Jay Opatea handling Spring Eureka. He's given us the tip there for the kennel mate, Spring General, who is absolutely smashed in the market. $2.50 into $1.60 about number 3, Spring General, Gabby.
Oh, it's been very well supported here today. As you said, $2.50 into $1.60, continues to firm. Cartier Ace was supported early, just easing ever so slightly this afternoon, and Tier Tremor is your next line. Spring car, but Spring General is you're about to lose for free and confidential support. Call the number on your screen or visit the website.
Tips from TheDogs.com.au, the opening event. This is the $1 Million Chase Consolation Maiden, 3, 4, 1 and 7. Let's go through them in runner order, Timmy. And Cartier Race for Tommy Rees off the inside draw. It's had 3 starts, a couple at Maitland over the 400, then the 450, and finished third here behind 8 waiting in its last start.
Oh, gee, he's drawn to get a Sunshine Gal, who goes in and is a wide runner. So he's going to get every opportunity to drive up here. Look, he was fairly out in his heat, and then he showed a good turn of speed mid-race and tied over the latter stages. That was his first 520-metre run, Duke. He'll strip fitter, as I mentioned, drawn to get a gun run. He's got a tremendous chance.
Number 2, Moose Benner, is a scratching. Spring General, trained by Scott Board, as said, they were spruiking these dogs pre-heats. Trail very well. We just heard from Jay Opatea, who's handling the 6, but he said if he was tipping one, he's tipping number 3, Spring General, who finished second, beaten a length and a half behind Battle Tears.
And a really gallant run in that opening, in the heat, on his opening run of his career. He began well, and then he just got half an ankle tap and then showed a good turn of speed when he balanced up again. He was really good. The winner was just too good for him on the night, but he ran 30 and 23 in getting beaten, Duke. He'll strip fitter for that run. He'll be better for the run in a field. Clearly the one to beat.
Cambridge King was only half a length behind Spring General in that run behind Battle Tears. $1.70 about Spring General, $23 or thereabouts. He's been supported. $13 now for Cambridge King. Do you give him any hope?
I do. He's a great little roughie, Cambridge King. He was a certainty beaten on debut at Dapto over the 300 metres, and then his run here last week was really, really good. He's another who will strip fit. $20 odd. He's a great roughie.
The second of Tommy Reese's runners is number 5, Cartier's Finest by Barcia Bale out of Blazing Cartier. It's only had the one start finish, nearly 8 lengths adrift as Superstar Ethics.
Yeah, tidy run actually, Duke, to finish runner-up. He copped a few little bumps in the run, and then he worked home solidly to grab second position in 30 and 53. He will need to improve on the clock, but he can with clear running.
We heard from Jay Opatea about Spring Eureka. It's a drifter in the market, $5 out to $6.50. Number 7, Tier Tremor for Michael Ivers, finished second behind 8, waiting, beaten 3.5 lengths.
Yeah, Rebecca Brilly Bred bitch, who's on day. She's another who'll be better for a run in a full field. She's a bit touchy early, but shows a good turn of speed when she does hit the ground. Not too badly drawn wide out, where she will get room to move, and she's a bit of a centre tracker, Duke. She's one of the main chances.
First reserve, Sunshine Gal, starts from box number 2, second runner for Greg Hoare in the race. One of the real roughies at $34.
Yeah, hard to have her on her opening run. She did get very, very wide from a wide alley, and she's not suited in box 2.
And Boston Banner will need to improve. It was beaten over 11 lengths in its heat behind Zipping Bentley.
Yeah, I agree, Duke. It's hard to have Boston Banner on his first career run. He would need to improve.
All right, Gabby Doxy from Ladbrokes, Spring General, all the rage, $2.50 into $1.70.
It's been very, very heavily supported here on race day. $2.50 into $1.65 just ticked over, so our market mover by a country mile.
Any of the outsiders, any of the longer price runners met with some support late?
Look, they're all pretty much easing at the moment. It's just one-way traffic.
All right, number 3, Spring General, carries the hopes of punters in the opening event on Ladbrokes $1 Million Chase Night. It will wear the white rug and exit box number 3. Timmy, your tip in the first.
Yeah, I'm in the quarter of Spring General, but he's at rock bottom odds now. The best roughie in the race is Cambridge King, Greyhound number 4.
All right, I went with the other one of Scotty Board's runners. I went with Spring Eureka. I couldn't tell which one was the one that trolled the fastest. He's got a blows. He's out to $7, and Spring General is the favourite at $1.65. So Greyhounds beside the 520-metre boxes here at Wentworth Park, and of course that is where the Ladbrokes $1 Million Chase will start from tonight at around 8:27 p.m. $1 million on offer, the richest free entry greyhound race in the world. Last look at the market here, 165 about Spring General, starts from box number 3. Second pick in the market, boy oh boy, you've got to go all the way out to the kennel mate. Go all the way out to number 7, Tier Tremor, now at $7. The kennel mate, Spring Eureka, out to $9.50.
Yeah, Duke, from that inside alley, I think Cartier Ace is getting out to a backable price too, Duke, with a wide runner, screaming wide runner in box number 2, Sunshine Gal. So Cartier Ace, I think, is getting out to a backable price. On top of the favourite Spring General, but at rock bottom odds for mine. All
right, the first of 10 races on Ladbrokes $1 Million Chase Night for 2023 as the Greyhounds are being boxed. This is the $1 Million Chase, Maiden Consolation. Our caller, Matt Jackson.
Massive number here at Wentworth Park. They're set and they're racing now. Spring General looking for the lead. Cambridge Kings pushing through, and they had a pump going in the first turn, and there was dead set chaos behind. Half the field knocked out of the race. So to the back straight, and Cambridge King led by 2, Tier Tremor. There's 6 lengths Boston, and next came Spring General. The rest of them all went down in the first turn.
4, 7, 10 and 3 to the opening event. It was rough and tough into that first turn. Tim Newbold, your best roughie of the race, gets up in number 4. Cambridge King runs 30 and 14. 4, 7, 10 and 3 are the numbers. And the time, as we expect, not on the far side, 30 and 14.
Yeah, a very, very messy race, Duke. He got the fly that first turn. He was desperately unlucky in his first run at Dapto over the 300 metres, and his run here in the heat last week was really, really solid. He's taken a stack of benefit out of that. Time not overly quick, 30 and 14, but a good gallop in a very, very messy affair, Duke.
4, 7, 10 and 3. Greg Hypo Hall, who drives the lure down at our track in Goulburn. He's got a big team in work, and Greg was previously in New Zealand where he did very well, and I'm sure he's absolutely delighted to have the first winner on a $1 Million Chase night here at Wentworth Park. 4, 7, 10 and 3, the time 30 and 14. Let's head trackside. Here's Mick Cowley with Greg Hall.
Greg, congratulations, mate. Great to get a winner on this night.
Yeah, big night. A little bit of a surprise. He got a little bit of ability, but he's very young, and I thought he might have been a bit out of his depth, but very happy with that.
It was a pretty handy run in the heats, actually, wasn't it?
Yeah, I thought he was a little bit unlucky going down the back. Whether his run might have been ending, turning for home, but yeah, when he came out tonight, that was the winning of the race. Just beginning good.
Have you got any plans for him, or just taking it along nice and slow?
I think he'll pick up his 5th grade in town here, and I've got a long-term plan. He may go to New Zealand for a couple of races over there in the future. Yeah.
Mate, good luck with him. Congratulations on winning the race.
Okay, thanks very much.
Greg Hall there with Mick Cowley after Cambridge King takes out the first event. I tell you what, guys, I don't know about tipping winners. Gabby, why don't we get up, have a bit of a dance or something? Everyone else is.
I think we will end up there. I think there's no other option at the moment.
Timmy, I've seen your dares. I've seen you do the sprinkler. What were the other ones you used to trot out?
Shopping trolley, the whippersnipper. I've got it all, Duke. They're all in the repertoire.
All the generics.
Yeah, that's right.
There's Cambridge
Showing
King
my age
from
now,
box
Gabby.
number 4. Getting to the front at the first turn, we've got the 7 carving across. That was Tear Tremor. And then we see a bit of trouble here at the first turn. And Cambridge King and also Tear Tremor, they clear out. And from there, they basically had the race to themselves, Timmy.
And we said the time wasn't overly quick, Duke, but 30 and 14, but he did get dragged down at the first turn, so that win there's more merit in that win after having a close look at that replay. Yeah, I think he's a greyhound, and no doubt, well, Greg just mentioned he might even target a few races over in New Zealand, so I dare say he showed a bit of ability from the early days, and yeah, good to see Greg take that out, and he's a greyhound who's got a few more wins ahead of him for sure. Yeah,
well, he put the writing in the wall, as I said, with that run out, that placing, and he was only half a length behind Spring Eureka, who was $1.65. He was $13. So if you're playing the value, it's easy to be smart after the event, but that was where the value lay there. All right, so that is the first event on $1 Million Chase night. It's the dividends now for race number 1, courtesy of Ladbrokes, $17.60 and $3 about number 4, Cambridge King. $1.50 for Tear Tremor, $2.80 for Boston Benner. 4, 7, 10 and 3. 4, 7, 10 and 3. The Quinella 45.30. Exacta 89.70. The try pays over $800. Let's take a look at the market for race number 2 on the card. This is the $1 Million Chase Maiden. We had 2 runnings last year. We don't share. Can you smoke them? Won both of them. Bit sad I don't have one in tonight, Battler. Here's the market, Zipping Megatron. They've served him up nice and short at $1.40 as well. $7.50 about Silent Accord, the one that you like, Timmy. $9 about Zipping Bentley. Gabby Doxey from Ladbrokes. I imagine this is all just one-way traffic.
All about the favourite here. Number 1, Zipping Megatron, into $1.40 in the last couple of minutes. Has been extremely well supported. Looks hard to beat here. Silent Accord is the next line at $7.50. Tootsie Tears is the next line after that. But it's all about the 1, Zipping at Megatron.
All right, punters will be hoping they can get back what they left in after he was beaten in his heat here 10 nights back. Okay, $1 Million Chase time now. Bella Una is the only female greyhound in the race. Not only that, she's the youngest greyhound in the race. She is owned by a school teacher out in Forbes, and TheDogs.com.au went and visited earlier this week.
because Ballaruna's broken away, and Ballaruna races her way into the $1 Million Chase Grand Final.
The teacher, I wouldn't like to be in his class this week. Kids will learn nothing. They're probably about the dog race.
Boys and girls, I think our visitors are here. So if you'd like to just put your pens and pencils down and just stay seated.
Hello, kids.
Everyone say good morning to Jack.
Sir, don't just call the male sir. There she is, what do you think? Just pat her on the back if you want. Feel how soft she is. She's soft, isn't she? There you go. She's very fast, though.
Nearly 2 years, maybe 18 months ago, I sort of thought about getting a greyhound, went home and asked the wife, and she gave me the thumbs up. So I called Jack and Marie out at Irinka, obviously they're local here in town, and said, how do you get involved in the greyhound game? And Jack gave me some options, and then I came back again a week later. He said, oh, we'll go up to see Chris and Sandra spread up at Cowley and choose a pup if you want, and we did that, took the boys up there.
I said, do you want to be a trainer or an owner? He said, I'll be an owner to start with. So I happened to have bought 3 pups off Chris and Sandra spread at Cowley. And I said, mate, go up and pick one of those, you can have one of those.
So we went up there and there was 3 dogs that were options, I suppose, a dog and 2 bitches, and one of my boys, my boy, wanted one particular girl and we wanted the other, Clyde and myself, my other 3rd son. And at the time, Ted got his way and we picked the other dog. But then, after thinking about it, I was just stewing on it. There's something about Bella on the day, and I don't know if you can read into it if you can, but I just couldn't get out of my mind. So I talked Ted into swapping, and I said that you can choose the kennel name if we can choose the other dog. And yeah, so I got back to Chris and said, can I change it from, you know, the first pick to the other pick? And yeah, Bella's been the result. So yeah, it was just fate really, I suppose, perhaps, or, you know, probably good luck as well. So that's how it ended up coming to be.
You've got a 1 in 8 shot at $1 million next week.
Oh, that's right. It'll just be a great weekend, right? You've won. Once you've got in it, you're a winner as far as we're concerned.
It's mind-blowing, really, isn't it? Hey, who would think you'd sort of have that sort of money in one hit? But hey, we'll just see what happens. We're winners already, and we'll just see what goes on from there.
There's Bella Una, and of course Jack Smith, the trainer, is no stranger to success. Feral Frankie, Jungle Juice, Miss Esme. Jack's had a great few years. Bella Una, I guess the question is, she's the real roughie in the race, as said, the only female, the youngest bitch and the youngest greyhound in the race as well. There's a whole town of Forbes. Don't worry about New Zealand supporting Postman Pat. Out in the west of New South Wales, they are all behind Bella Una, particularly at Michael's school.
And she's not without a chance. She's actually my best roughie in the race. She can lead ping on her night. Last week she came from well back in the field. She was near last early and got a run through the first turn. But on her night she can nail the jump. If she happens to do that tonight, she could very well be vying for the lead. She can run around the 29.7 mark. She'll have to run that to win. But Duke, she's not without a chance. As I said, the best roughie in the race for mine.
Look, I think you're hard-pressed to find anything in the race that isn't with some sort of a hope. I mean, there's 8 starters, there's 8 runners. You know, obviously some need luck to go their own way, but there are a couple of runners in this race that if there is a little bit of trouble early, they may just be smoking the pipe. And look, she came out terrible last week in that semi-final win. It's still got the run through. You know, it's a race that, again, if it eventuates the way we all think it does, the 2 favourites clear out, but we've been in greyhound racing long enough to know, Timmy, that doesn't always happen.
And you can't forget, she made the final of the Group 1 Peter Mossman Opal here back in July, and in her heat she actually came out running to lead pretty much all of the way. And I like her drawn in the middle of the line. She does want to shift a little bit in the drive to the first turn, so I don't think she's too badly drawn in box 4. Greyhound number 5 won't worry her in the initial stages.
Gabby Doxy, I'll bring you into this. I just looked at the price for Bella Una. I thought she was a genuine $26 hope. $11 in the market mover with Ladbrokes.
She's been very well supported, as you said, into $11 here on race day. Somebody certainly likes her, and by the sounds of it, then they might be in for a good little value bet there.
I'm blown away by that. I thought she was still around the $26 mark.
That's amazing. That is way under the odds. Good luck to Michael Sheether, all the kids out there at Forbes, and also to Jack and Marie Smith as well. But from a punting perspective, I can't cop the $11. Race number 2 on the card. This is the $1 Million Chase Maiden Final. $1 Million Chase Maiden Final. $1.40 about Zipping Megatron. As I said, they left plenty in its heat when it fell out of the box and finished second. Let's hear from its trainer, Jason Magri, who is trackside with Simon Orchard.
Jason, let's go back 7 days. What did you make of the run last week?
Yeah, nice run. He handled himself good. He just made a mess of the start. It's all raining and that, so probably slipped on the mat or something. So, but he handled himself real good. It's like he had 20 starts in him, so it went nice.
Expecting something special tonight?
I just hope he comes out clean.
Currently $1.40, mate. The kennel's been in flying form. You got a biggest danger for us in the field?
What was that?
Have you got a biggest danger in the field?
Oh, this is a real good lineup of young pups coming through, so they're all capable of winning. So yeah, they're all dangerous tonight.
Last one, this guy was pretty boisterous before, jumping around. Is that normally him in the pre-parade?
No, he's more excited today than he was last week, so probably won't stir him up tonight.
Best of luck, mate.
Thanks, buddy.
Jason Magri with Simon Orchard there. Timmy, I think if we go back about 15 months, Zipping Novak fell out of the boxes in a heat of the Group 3 Magic Maiden, came out and won. We saw Zipping Megatron fall out of the boxes in his heat of the $1 Million Chase Maiden. Is there a sign there? Is it,
Well, there might be, Duke.
The stars are lining.
He's a greyhound who was actually contesting a semi-final of the $1 Million Chase here last week, Zipping Novak. There's no doubting his ability, Zipping Megatron. He'll be better for that run in a field. He'll have that experience under his belt. He's got box 1 where he does want to be. And they were, a few rumours around the traps were saying he did trial around the 29.6 mark. So
55, I think it was. And as I said, a guy declared it to me last week, unbeatable cannot. And even after the race, when it finished second, don't worry, he's unbeatable in the final after he came up with the red. Gabby, $1.95 into about that $1.40 mark now.
Yeah, Zipping Megatron, they don't really want anything else in this affair. $1.45 at the moment. Silent Accord has been nibbled at in the last couple of minutes, 8 into $7.50. Tootsie Tears is your next line of betting, but yeah, one-way traffic here. Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.
I'll tell you the one I fancy at decent odds, and that's Mick Hardman's number 2, Zipping Bentley. Had box 7, I should say. No, box 8 in its heat win. All it wanted to do was get to the fence, Timmy. If the red does fall out again, Zipping Bentley's probably going to trim up 10th and a half, running that 29.9, 29.85.
without a shadow of a doubt, he's getting out to a crazy price, Zipping Bentley, because Zipping Megatron, if he does do what he did last week, he's going to be last early. And there is a bit of pace inside of the Accord. Battle Tears will roll forward. Been a long time. Has got good speed. It's getting out to $51 as well. It's not without a chance. Been a long time. So outside the favourite, you are getting some amazing prices here. Silent Accord getting out to $7.50. He opened up around about the $4 or thereabouts. Gabby will be able to tell us a little bit more there, but I think he's at a tremendous price, Silent Accord, because he's a greyhound who I know will run very, very quick time around here if he does find the lure.
Yeah, he did have first use of the track on heat night, and it was a half filthy night. It sort of rained, the wind blew up, and Silent Accord was the first of the heats and that, but he still put the time on the board. You still have to be able to do that. Okay. Greyhounds on their way to the 520-metre boxes here at Wentworth Park for race 2. The $1 Million Chase Maiden Final, $15,000 goes to the winner of this listed event. We've spoken plenty about Zipping Megatron. Is there something you've been holding back, Battler? Is there some little key that... Well, we heard Jason Magri earlier in the week said it was unusual for him to miss the start like he did.
Yeah, he ran 5.91. Now, I'd run that early here, but he came home in 11.60, overall time 30.03. He's got his alley. We do know he has trialled very, very quickly around here, but he can't do what he did in the heat last week. He needs to begin better. If he does, he's clearly the one to beat. He's going to get a nice run back on the rails.
The value runner for me is number 2, and that is Zipping Bentley, trained by Mick Hartman for Marty and Fiona Hallinan by Superior Panama, out of Zipping Bailey, who is a great little bitch here at Wentworth Park. It made its debut from box 8, but as I said, all it wanted to do was get to the fence in running 30 and 01.
Yeah, a real professional win at the end, Duke. As you said, wanted to crash toward the rail, so well drawn in box 2. If Zipping Megatron does miss it, he's going to get every chance to find the rails, and he's a major player and at great odds.
Silent Accord from box number 3. He ran up to a couple of good runs at Goulburn in a heat of the Zoom Top Maiden series there. And then, as I said, he had first use of the track from box 4, ran a real straight line to the first turn, Tim.
Yeah, handily drawn in box number 3. The Greyhounds on his outside won't worry him in the early stages. Zipping Megatron walks out, or can walk out, and Zipping Bentley wants to run to the rails. I can see him getting fresh air here. He's my on-top selection, and I think he's at a great price.
Battle Tears for Michael Ivers on debut from box number 8. Showed plenty of early toe, running 5:47, and I know that the kennel fancied it on heat 9.
Yeah, 30 and 12 overall. He's not that badly drawn in box number 4. He's a straight tracker. He's another who's getting out to a real backable price at $13.
Been a long time, one of the real roughies at $34. It's run second at its only 2 starts. Tootsie Tears for Michael Ivers, $29.93 from box number 6 by Hooked on Scotch out of Freaky Tears, beautifully bred.
And nicely drawn wide out on the track, as she did run a straight line. 5:54 opening fraction. She will probably need to get down under 5:50 to get across here, but she's another who you need to consider here.
Ain't Waiting for box 7, perfectly drawn. This letter out of Poco Dorada, just want to move up the track at ran 30 and 13 from box number 4. It comes up with 7 tonight.
Yeah, perfectly drawn wide out on the track, as we saw last week. She did want to get very, very wide. Ran handy early sections, 30 and 13. She will need to improve in a run home to get home here.
And Superstar Ethics, well, again, the spruik was big on this dog. $1.80 first up beaten, $1.22 second up beaten. They got the cash from box number 2 when it won by nearly 8 lengths, running 29.99.
Yeah, tremendous win. He was crowded early, but he drove through at the first turn, and he roared away at the end. This is one Greyhound you need to follow throughout after tonight.
$1.70, just easing a touch now for Zipping Megatron, Gab.
It certainly is. Still very firm in the market, however. $1.75 just ticked out to, I will say, Silent Accord, dog number 3. They have come for $7.50 into $5.50 since the parade.
All right, Timmy, your tip?
Yeah, Silent Accord.
I'm with Zipping Megatron off the inside. This is the $1 Million Chase Maiden Final. Let's head upstairs. Here's Matt Jackson.
The was on its way. $1 Million Chase Maiden Final. Favourite box 1. They're ready. They're racing. Zipping Megatron each up much cleaner tonight. Out fast, been a long time, but Zipping Megatron will go through and he'll lead, and he speeds away from Zipping Bentley to second. Been a long time third. Battle Tears fourth, getting on to heels. They're followed by Silent Accord. Well back in the field, Tootsie Tears, Superstar Ethics, and 8 waiting off the back straight, and Zipping Megatron led by 3, Zipping Bentley, who can't stay with him around the turn. Zipping Megatron bombed the start last week, puts it all together tonight, and a star is born. Zipping Megatron easily over Zipping Bentley. Third pin a long time, and 4th Silent Accord. They're followed Battle Tears, Superstar Ethics, Tootsie Tears, and 8 waiting. We'll get a time through very shortly, but I tell you what, it was fast.
Well, the race record was 29.67, held by
He's
Kenya
blown that away.
29.42 is the time. The numbers are 1, 2, 5. Just waiting for that 4th number to come through. 1, 2, 5 and 3 confirmed to race number 2. And Timmy, I guess what every punter who had supported the favourite Zipping Megatron wanted to see was him just come out on terms with them.
He came out sweetly tonight, Duke, and he just strode through, and when he took control, it was game, set and match. 11.60 the run home, 29.42 for a Greyhound having only his 2nd race start tonight. Wowee, he is one to follow. He could be just one out of the box, Duke.
1, 2, 5 and 3. 1, 2, 5 and 3. Zipping Megatron. Marty Hallen has just walked past us. He's got a big smile on his face. Of course, they train out of Clergate in the central west of New South Wales. They race all the dogs with the Zipping prefix. Zipping Bentley was only a length and a half off him as they went through the catching pen, Timmy, and you probably thought, wow, do we have a race? We didn't know then. It didn't turn out that way. Let's hear from the winning trainer, Jason Magri, with Mick Cowley.
Jason Magri, congratulations, Magic Maiden winner. You must have been pretty happy when they stepped away.
Yeah, I did. He came out clean, and the 2 went up the track a bit, so he had plenty of room, and that's what he can do. So he goes nice, this dog.
Ain't nice. 29.4 is better than nice.
Yeah, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but he's got good traits. He's got everything right, so fingers crossed.
Mate, was it just one of those things last week when he just slipped at the start?
Yeah, you knew my money was on him, that's why he slipped. But yeah, it was just one of those things. It was a wet night, young dogs, just got it all wrong, so showed you tonight he can come out nice.
Mate, do you plan too far ahead with these, or you just take it as it goes?
No, I'll just run him through his grades now, probably around here, Richmond and Bulli, and then we'll work it out from there.
You've had some handy ones going through the years in these sorts of races. Where does he sit amongst them? He's got plenty of talent.
For ability-wise, he's up there with the best dogs we've had. So he's got a good temperament, which really counts. So, yeah, he's ticking all the right boxes at the moment. They sent him down with a good rap to me, and after one or two trials, he broke the watch pretty much, and you just start thinking from there.
Congratulations, well done winning a race on this night. Must be special as well.
Yeah, it is. It's always good to win on a feature race like tonight. It's exciting. It's what we do it for, to get up for those races, and yeah, it's good.
Congratulations, mate. I look forward to seeing him in the future.
No, it's thank you. I hope you do.
Jason Magri there speaking about Zipping Megatron. We heard Jay say that he was well and truly on that dog in the heat, and as said, they left it in. Tonight, hopefully they've got something out. Gabby, it got back out to $1.80 at the death. And I guess for those punters at $1.40, they may have stepped back in at $1.80 as well.
Yeah, I mean, as you said, out to $1.90, so was quite easy by the end of it, but still, as we mentioned, the best backed runner.
11.60 run home, 29.42, a new race record for the $1 Million Chase Maiden final. 1, 2, 5 and 3, and look, I think you can follow first and second as well, Timmy.
First, second, third, probably all the way through the field, Duke. I really think in 6 to 9 months' time we'll be going back and looking at this race and saying, yeah, there's another one that come through the $1 Million Chase Maiden. I think that was a real quality final, Duke, and a number of greyhounds out of it. I dare say we'll be getting the free-for-all company around here at Wentworth Park.
And it's proven it's like the Zoom Top Maiden at Goulburn as well. This race has produced a couple of very handy greyhounds over the past few years. Zipping Megatron, good luck if you're stuck fat with him. Here is Sniper Cam. There is Megatron coming out of the box. Look at Zipping Bentley just take a nice right-hand turn. Gives him 2 or 3 dogs gap there.
It's quite funny, Duke, because we were talking before the race, and Zipping Bentley on debut had box 8, and all he wanted to do was carve across to the rails. And then at his second start tonight, he actually draws inside, and he wanted to get up the track in the early stages. The young, inexperienced, immature dogs, the more racing that they do, they'll find their genuine traits in the end. But it's quite funny when you do look at from start 1 to start 2, different traits.
And a big crowd here as well, Timmy, which can upset the young pups. 1, 2, 5 and 3 on the $1 Million Chase Maiden final. 190 and money back, Zipping Megatron. 270 Zipping Bentley. 450 been a long time. Silent Accord finishes 4th. And the Quinn pays $4, Exacta $7.70, Trifecta tick over $80, $2.96 and $30 for the first 4, 1, 2, 5 and 3, 2, race number 2 on the card here at Wentworth Park. Here is box cam, and that was Zipping Megatron, and we get it from the profile shot as well. And as I say, you look at Zipping Bentley drawn in box number 2. Look, you just see he just wants to push up and push up and push up, and you can see that big gap there, Timmy. You could drive a semi-trailer or you could drive Zipping Megatron through.
And if you're taking the very skinny odds, Duke, that is how you like to see them begin and then get all that room to move in the first 20 or 30 metres.
It's a great shot, the head-ons and also the sniper cam. So we are 2 races down. Don't forget, if you just joined our coverage, the big one, which is the world's richest free entry greyhound race, the Ladbrokes $1 Million Chase, is 8:27 p.m. on the card. So 2 down, 6 to go before the big one. And Gabby, it's probably even Stevens at the moment. There was a roughie get up in the first. Heavily supported favourite wins race 2.
Yeah, the punters, they're probably a little bit upset for the first, but they've got one on the board for the second.
All right, there's Jason Magri with Zipping Megatron, supported by Wayne Billett, the Deputy CEO of Greyhound Racing New South Wales, and also Greyhound Racing New South Wales board member Matt Waring for the presentation of race number 2, the $1 Million Chase Maiden Final, sponsored by Ladbrokes, of course. All right, race number 3 on the card. And this is the GRNSW Syndication Showdown, a race worth $20,000 to the winner. And Timmy, a new race that's been brought in on $1 Million Chase night. Greyhounds that must have been owned by Syndicate as of August, but this is to try and stimulate more syndication and ownership in greyhound racing.
Yeah, great initiative, Duke, to put this race on a big night like this, and hoping a number of the those in the syndications have actually turned up tonight, which is always good to see. So, as we've spoken at nauseum at times regarding syndication and how great it is for the industry, and it's good that a race like this has been put on tonight, and really good prize money as well, Duke.
Terrific field. Some of these greyhounds started favourite or near favourite in their semi-finals of the $1 Million Chase. The likes of Mortified, Quantifiable, they were both heavily supported. Connections was favourite in its heat of the Masters Meteor 10 nights back. So the favourite way looks as if it is Mortified at 275. Chris O'Brien has the wings, and they're both of his greyhounds. Quantifiable at 350, Mortified at 275. Gabby, an early look at the market. Where's the money here?
Early on, Quantifiable was our well-supported favourite. It has still been solid throughout at $3.40. Mortified, though, has certainly come in from $3 into $2.60, so late going to be our best back runner. There's also been a little nibble for Street of Dreams, so fairly open at the moment.
All right, Street of Dreams at $4. Timmy, normally a greyhound wants to get off the track, draws box number 2, and he's a dropout run home greyhound.
Yeah, he is. He's racing in arguably career best form, Duke, at the moment. He was really good here recently. He's drawn well on the rails. There is a stack of pace drawn inside out here. There's probably only 2 greyhounds, maybe 3 greyhounds in the race who can't lead, being 2, 3 and 5, but every other greyhound in the race could lead. And this race could very well be set up for a back marker here if there is any jostling or jamming in front.
All right, race number 8 on the card is the big one, the $1 Million Chase. Maiden, $1 Million Chase final, I should say. Just had 2 maidens. It's worth $1 million to the winner. Stuart Hazlitt has been a long-term greyhound participant, and earlier this week, Simon Orchard caught up with him to talk about the chances of Hazability in the big one.
Well, we're only one sleep away from the Ladbrokes $1 Million Chase, and Hazability has been one of the stories of the series so far. Stewie Hazlitt trains the dog, and he joins me down the line from his home in Taurang. How are the nerves ahead of the big one, Stu?
Oh, they're pretty good.
Short and sweet. I like it, mate. Tell me, you're racing for $1 million. You know that, right?
Yeah, I know, but we're 40 to 1, so there's no pressure.
That's a great way to look at it.
You know, if we were 2 to 1 favourite or something, well, there'd be a lot more pressure because you sort of expect it, but we're not expecting to win. We're very happy to be there. The dog's very happy and just need a bit of luck.
Tell us a bit about the son of Fernando Bale, out of a multiple group finalist in Bikini Cloud. How did he come to be in your kennel?
Well, Andrew said he was going to buy him, and I suggested that he didn't, but he went ahead and bought him.
This is Andrew Fennick you're talking about, right?
Yeah, Andrew Fennick. Yeah, he picked him out of a litter of 11, I think there were, and he obviously picked the right one because I think 1 or 2 of them have raced, and all the rest have not raced and haven't even been named. So he's a bit of a miracle.
Oh, sure is. And the name is apt, I guess, for him. He's surprised us, Stu, but has he surprised you in the last couple of weeks? And I'll ask you that by rolling your mind back to February, where he debuted in the Robert Smith Memorial Maiden at the Gardens. Did you know you had $1 Million Chase finalist on your hands?
Not then, no. He was trying all right, but he wasn't trying that flash. And we thought we'll give it a crack at the Maiden up there. He was a bit disappointing, I must admit. I thought he had the race won a few times during the running, but he didn't really get to the line that well. But recently his attitude has changed and he's become a lot more determined in his outlook and running, and it's really shown through in his last 4 starts. Since he had an injury before spell, he's really come good.
Yeah, he ran second, of course, behind Big Boy Wilson in that big final up there back at the start of the year. You mentioned the last couple of starts, in particular, City qualifiers, semi-finals, and the roll just keeps on going into the $1 Million Chase final. You've sent Clint, your son, along to do a lot of the media stuff. Tell us why that is, and what does it mean to have your son so heavily involved in a dog like this?
Well, it's great. He does all the heavy lifting, shall we say, at home, the hard stuff, and he does that and drives. And I'm a bit aged now, so I can't really do it much. So he's taken over the reins there, and he loves it. And it's great to have him there at the helm.
You're making me feel bad. You're making me feel bad, Stu. I got my dad out building my fence as I speak outside, so I have to get out and help him this afternoon. Hey, let's take a glimpse at the final field. You mentioned 40-1 for Hazability. Box 5 makes it pretty hard, but realistically, what hope do you give him, and how do you hope the race pans out in the first 100 metres, especially?
Well, the way they're boxed, everyone's going to be crazy about the 2-dog and the 3. Probably the best 2 dogs in Queensland and Victoria, so it's going to be hard to beat them. It's going to require a miracle, really. I don't know how it's going to happen. Maybe Bellayuna's going to run into them both, and Cumbria Kid's going to come outwards, and we're going to get a dream run. I don't know how it's going to unfold, but it's. I mean, he doesn't have a lot of early pace, so he's very strong now. He wasn't strong at early days, but he's getting stronger. And he's chasing hard, so I don't know how it's going to happen. And One Hot Bandit on the outside, he's very strong. So he's well boxed. So it's pretty much, there's a lot of dogs that are well boxed in the race.
It's been a pleasure to catch up with you, Stu, and I know yourself, Clint, and the family at large will be really embracing Friday night and the experience of it all. I guess the final question, mate, if you were to win the $1 million, how do you think you might feel, and what do you spend the money on?
Oh, well, of course, we only get half of it. So we'd probably spend it on a new car.
I think Stewie wants to go to Vegas. Well, I'm there next week, so Stu, if you win, I'll see you in Vegas. I'll meet you at the MGM Grand at Brad Garrett's Comedy Club. Again, Tim, we see someone that's been involved in greyhound racing for a long, long time. They've got a chance tonight at $1 million.
Would be a real fairy tale story, Duke. As you said, been in the game for a very, very long time. Always been, doesn't just come here to race at Wentworth Park. He goes around all of the provincial and country tracks. So would be a real story if Stu could take out the $1 million.
The sun is setting here in Sydney at the moment. What are we, about 20 minutes away from sunset, which will be that way, which is, there it is over the back. Look at that in the beautiful golden west of Sydney. And we've got a cracker crowd here at Wentworth Park. And of course, we have got the gratuitous pull-out shot from Westfield Centre Point at Mid-City Centre, just up the road from where I live. Yeah. We have a director who has a fixation about the Westfield Tower. I don't think he thinks anyone knows that it's there, but we always manage to trot it out. And there, of course, is Anzac Bridge, and that the best city in the world, the best harbour city in the world anyway. No arguments there. All right, race number 3 is the GRNSW Syndication Showdown. A very, very tight market at the top of it, with both of these runners trained by Chris O'Brien, Quantifiable and Mortified. I've got to tell you, I'm strongly in the camp of Mortified. Great record from box number 8. Go back to a Megastar run where she finished second behind Umberto, second up after a spell. I just think she's going to be cherry ripe tonight. I'm hoping Return Mac does what he normally does, spear out. She's got a ton of early pace, Timmy. Do you see that happening for her? Give me something. Come on.
Duke, the worry with it, I will say, generally, any race she would be contesting and she drew box 8, I'd be tipping her strongly. I think she's a box 8 bandit. But this race is a little bit different. Return Mac is a good beginner, good speed. Does want to run across, but he's not a crasher. Connections is the big key to this race, Greyhound 6. Now, she is, or he is, a dead set lead pinger and is a wide runner. So Mortified's got to get around him in the first 40 or 50. If he gets out of the way and she charges over, she could very well be in second position at the first turn. But where's Return Mac going to be? Greyhound number 4 shows a bit of pace as well. So it's not as cut and dried as what many think here, in my opinion. As I said, I love her drawn out wide, but not in this particular race.
Gabby Doxey from Ladbrokes. Chris O'Brien, the trainer, has got quantifiable from box 1 at 350, mortified at 260. Any other greyhound met with any sort of substantial support in this?
Well, Street of Dreams has been supported throughout the day, 5 into 460. But yeah, sort of all about the 1 and the 8 here from a punting perspective. I can't say there's much else happening in the rest of the field.
And of course, Timmy, we talk about dogs like Nengar Rocket, who'd been super impressive winning that Dubbo series of the $1 Million Chase. He's not without a chance. He's a $8.50 pop. Punters Bandit on the way back. She can run the hands off the clock if she gets, the right conditions and the right race to suit.
Yeah, she's a greyhound who won't be contesting the lead. She'll be back in the pack early on. And if there is any dramas, any jostling, any jamming at the first turn here, she could well, take advantage of that because she'll be really strong at the end, Duke. So the leaders won't want to do anything wrong. I think Nengar Rocket's got an amazing chance here on an each-way basis. He won't be leading if he can just begin only moderately like he normally does and finds the rail through the first turn. He might get a saloon run through the catching pen into the back, and we know he is super, super strong at the end.
Quantifiable number 1 for Chris O'Brien. Its record is 35 starts, 15 wins, 10 minors, 6 victories here. I've got to tell you, she's a litter sister and obviously a kennelmate to Mortified, but I always had her 2 or 3 lengths behind Mortified at least. As far as ability from what I'd seen. Yeah,
she's run a PB of 29.64 around here. Mortified's run 29.30 odd. So you're on the mark there. She's a reliable beginner. She's got a good turn of speed. She won here 2 runs ago, running 29.64 PB, so she's in career best form. She'll make her own luck from the inside. She's got 2 moderate beginners drawn immediately to her right.
Number 2, Street of Dreams for Jay Apataya. Greyhounds 1-4. I just thought he was probably better off drawn off the track, Timmy. Nengar Rocket's going to fire out from box 3. Will show at least probably more pace than what he will. Where do you see him landing at the first turn?
I think he'll be 5th and 6th back on the rails, and he'll be relying on a little bit of jamming at the first turn. He'll be looking for that run. The run might appear, Duke, the way they're boxed in this race. So he's a great each-way chance.
Nengar Rocket, trained by Dennis Barnes, 18 victories from 47 starts. As I said, prior to finishing midfield in the semi-final behind Bellayuna of the $1 Million Chase, it had strung 3 together. Very good victory at Dubbo in the regional final, and then came out and ran 29.89 here to 2 starts back.
Yeah, he's my on-top selection. I think he's an outstanding each-way gamble here. Greyhound number 3. He won't be vying for the lead. I think he'll be getting that suck run behind the pace here. If they open up down the back straight and he gets room to move, the leaders will want to look out because he's got a big, big finish. He's at a great price here, getting out to $10.
All right, number 4 is Adulate. It's around $17. Punters Bandit we've spoken about. Likewise, Connections at $12. Go down to Return Mac. It's $31. It could be the fly in the ointment, but
yeah, he's a good little dog. He's a 26-time. He's a great beginner, good turn of speed. He'll be looking to cut and run, but he's got to dodge Connections in the first 10 to 20 metres.
Mortified has said, I'm really keen on this bitch from box number 8. Currently around $2.80. I mean, have a look at her record. She's not long back from a 5-month spell. She's won here 11 times from 21 starts, Timmy. More so, she's got a 29.37 PB, which came from box number 8.
Yeah, she's a box 8 bandit, Duke. Just got to contend with the 2 greyhounds who have got higher speed drawn immediately underneath her here. She's one of the best greyhounds in the nation.
Gabby Doc.
Going to go with the 1 here. Almost double the hold than that of the 8. Mortified has been slightly easy, just out to $3. It's all about quantifiable, as has Streets of Dreams, just been slightly easy. Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, call the 1-800 number or visit the website.
$3 Mortified, $3.40 the kennelmate Quantifiable. Timmy, I'm with Mortified. Who are you with?
I'm with Nengar Rocket on an each-way basis. He's just trimmed down a point or 2, so a little bit of money for Nengar Rocket late.
Now into $6 with Ladbrokes for Nengar Rocket. Street of Dreams, Gabby mentioned, it's been well supported around the $5.50. Quantifiable, rock solid at $3.50. And look, Mortified open $3, got in to around that $2.70, $2.80 mark, back out to $3.10 now. This is the GRNSW Syndication Showdown. $20,000 going to the winner of this event. Greyhounds are about to be boxed for race number 3. Let's head trackside. Here's Matt Jackson.
Speed here to be from that outside 3 boxes. Okay, just about already. There's the green light. Race 3, the Syndication Showdown. They're set to run. 290 Mortified favourite. Ready, racing now. She was slow out Mortified. Quantifiable first away, will lead past the judge on Connections and return back. Mortified to fourth. Street of Dreams was pushing up the middle. Just got a little check and Nangar Rocket went around them. Adulate well back and last Punters Bandit down the back, and it's Quantifiable, the leader by 2.5 on return back. They look to have it between them. 6 lengths away, Nangar Rocket at the home corner. Quantifiable led it by 2.5, return back. Nangar Rocket's rattling home with Street of Dreams, but Quantifiable goes all the way. Quantifiable beats Nangar Rocket, return back and a luckless Street of Dreams. Then Mortified, Punters Bandit, Adulate, and Connections is pulled up short at the rear. And the time, we hold our breath. Quantifiable all the way.
137 and 2, 137 and 2 to the GRNSW Syndication Showdown. 3 races, 3 leaders, Timmy, and the winning time there is 29.71. So 1, 3, 7 and 2. Mortified began poorly. Quantifiable began well, and that was the race done and dusted.
Races won at Box Rise, and she began beautifully, Duke. Ran an early section of 5:45, 17.81 to the back home at 11.90, and just outside her PB, she's run 29.71. She's always been a reliable beginner, Duke. She's got that great early speed, which puts her in the race more often than not, and she was a dashing winner. They couldn't run her down. Return Mac, he was gallant trying to run her down, and Nangar Rocket, well, he was terrific. He found a little bit of trouble in the early stages, but got around them working to the back, and he hammered home at the end to grab second position.
1, 3, 7 and 2 punters on the mark again there, Gabby Doxey from Ladbrokes. It was, you mentioned before the race, it was the one they all wanted to jump on.
They certainly did, yes. Gone in $3.50 was very solid throughout, but yes, another one on the board for the punters.
Right, so punters holding the call at the moment on Ladbrokes $1 Million Chase Night. We see the head on cam, and there is Quantifiable off the inside, punching up, holding the rails, holding the lead. The kennelmate Mortified on the outside, couldn't get across. Quantifiable led and won. Let's head trackside. Mick Cowley with a very happy Chris O'Brien.
Duke, you're absolutely right. He's very happy. Sometimes you just don't know what Quantifiable's going to do at the start, do you?
No, mate, no. She was well boxed, the one tonight, so Mortified didn't begin that well, just saying the cat, but I'm happy I won the race. That's the main thing. And I mean, she's improving all the time. You can't knock Quantifiable, mate. She's a good beginner, and you've got to do that, especially at Wenny. So, very happy.
You look 2 runs back, and she did the same thing. If only she could have done it last week, I suppose. That you live on those.
Yeah, I'm used to that. I'm getting used to that, mate. So, but she's done it tonight. So, it's good for the syndicate because they've been together since 2006, the Pale Ale Syndicate, and the owner of Mortified's in the Quantifiable as well. So it's happy. You know, it's a big thing, and they've been together for a long time, and it's just great to win a nice race for them. So.
She's gone 29.7 tonight. She's still improving, as you said. Mate, look further down the track, maybe a few features for her?
I think so. Why not? You know, beginning's the name of the game, and she does that most of the time. So she's pretty well. Most of the time, she's probably bomb-proof, you know, at the start. So that's how it works. So she's definitely worth a feature race for sure down the track.
Mate, Mortified's coming back to a few more runs under her belt. She'll be back to her best, hopefully.
Yeah, I hope so, mate. Yeah, probably wasn't. I don't know. I didn't really like her out in box 8 tonight, but anyway, you know, it is what it is, and she can miss it. She's got to begin, you know. So that's the name of the game with her. Yeah.
Congratulations on winning a race on a night like this, mate.
What's that, mate?
Congratulations on winning a race on a night like this.
Yeah, thanks very much, Mick. Yeah, good on you. Thanks, mate. Thanks, mate.
Chris O'Brien, don't worry, buddy. It's just as hard to hear up here. Well done, Chrissy, with Quantifiable takes out the GRNSW Syndication Showdown. Let's take a look at the divvies for race number 3 on the card. And as Gabby said, the one punters wanted late in the market was Quantifiable, pays $3.80 and $1.70. Nangar Rocket $2. Return Mac putting some spice into the exotics, $4.70. Street of Dreams runs 4th. The Quinella $10.40. Exacta 1980 try $253. And the first 4 $904 and change. Let's take a look at Sniper Cam, Box Cam, Lateral Cam. There's Quantifiable off the inside. Timmy firing out pace also from Connections as expected, but couldn't go with quantifiable early.
Yeah, and as you saw there, mortified moderately away, and you can't afford to be that slow out of the boxes when you had genuine pace underneath her in connections and return Mac, and that's why she just couldn't possibly get across Duke. And her kennel mate, quantifiable, lead pinged in front, making her own luck and making every post a winner.
Nengo Rocket back in the ruck in the early stages. There he is there, getting a bit of a bump as connections wanted to come across, likewise with return Mac. But we look at Nengo Rocket here, he's 5 deep on that first turn and probably 6 or 7 away from the winner. He's only been beaten 3 charging home, and I do like him when he steps up to that middle distance.
Oh, he's a ripping chaser, Duke. Gee, it'll be hard to beat when he steps up at the 600 metres, and then it'll be interesting what the Barnes do with him in the next few months, whether they get him back up to that half mile and target feature races around the country, or keep him at the sprinting or middle distance. I dare say he will step up in journey, but he's just a ripping greyhound. Of course, he was just narrowly beaten in the Ladbrokes 7:15 at the Gardens back in May, Duke.
Yeah, and of course, as Barnsley's famous quote after Nengar Lucy won the Group 2 Blacktop a few weeks ago, the Gardens owed me one. So it was we were both trackside that night. I've never known a photo finish in a greyhound race. It seemed like it went for 25 minutes.
Eternity, absolute eternity. At the end, like I thought the greyhound who got there and
Zipping Orlando
got there comfortably on the line. I thought, hello, my eyes might be a bit dodgy here. How long it took that photo to go, but at the end of the day, Orlando got the money, and he was gallant in getting beat. It just shows how versatile he is, Duke, to come back in journey, back to the 500 metres, and he's being very competitive against the best sprinters in New South Wales.
Absolutely. Best sprinters in Australia. As said, he was in that semi-final of the $1 Million Chase last week. There it is. What a beautiful city Sydney is. And we are only 2 or 3 kilometres away from the CBD of Sydney, here on the western side of the city at Wentworth Park. As I said, it's a track we've been racing here at Wenny since 1939. The inaugural team in the rugby league, New South Wales Rugby League. Gabby, I know you weren't born at this stage, but Timmy would remember them well. The Glebe Dirty Reds, back in 1908, they were one of the very first teams to play in the New South Wales Rugby League, now the NRL, right here at Wentworth Park.
We're not only finding your winners here, it's a history lesson with Mark Duclos.
Absolutely. What a great place. I've been coming here for 50 years, Timmy. I love it. I don't know what we're going to do if we don't race here in the future, but it is the spiritual home of greyhound racing anywhere in Australia. You talk to anyone overseas and they all know about Wentworth Park here in the NSW Young Star Final. Timmy, you were talking about that race, the 7:15 at the Gardens, which Zipping Orlando won. Zipping Orlando took out the 2022 version of the Young Star last year, running a race record of 29.65. What a chaser he is.
Sure is, and what a race this is. This is well named, Duke, the Young Star. Some cracking young greyhounds lining up here. They're all lightly raced, and these greyhounds are going to go to top level here, the free-for-all company here at Wentworth Park in the not-too-distant future, Duke. The favourite is Rocket Ride from the middle alley, but gee, can be very, very touchy at box rise. Came out running to lead all of the way in his heat. Can he do it again tonight?
I'll tell you what's going to help him, Timmy, a vacant box on his inside. With the scratching of number 4, and that is Time to Go, which came out just prior to kennels. Rocket Ride, he loves that little bit of room to move. Look, we know he's a very, very fast greyhound. He was gassed in a week and ran the fastest time of these heats, going 29.61. So he is the favourite with Ladbrokes at 290, 350 about Fernando Quality, who has also firmed in the market. Of course, Rocket Ride is prepared by Peter Lagosiani, a man who has won $2 million chases. Prior to winning those $2 million chases, Peter also trained greyhounds in Dubai, and earlier this week the team of Ladbrokes caught up with him.
If I could just show you through my eyes what I saw, what I experienced, I felt like I lived 2 lifetimes over there. I could write a book, I'll tell you that right now, and I think it'd be a bestseller. I was a house painter, but my passion, my love was and for a dream. I always wanted to be a greyhound trainer. I watched Bart Cummings and John Hawkes and all them horse trainers. how they grew training these Golden Slippers and Melbourne Cup winners, and I always thought, geez, sport of kings. Being raised in Redfern, and you know, we weren't destined for that, but yeah, look, I think the next best thing was Greyhounds, and I fell in love with the animal. It was very surreal. I got picked to go to Dubai. They just come down and scouted me, and I'll never forget the phone call. And spoke to the Crown Prince. He wined and dined me and took me around and showed me the nice parts of Dubai, and it's a beautiful country and a beautiful city. I tell you, I live like a prince. I was pinching myself nearly every day. I felt like I lived 2 lifetimes over there. That's the best way of saying it. Unfortunately, Dad fell ill and it was life-threatening, so I just thought family's more important than money. We knew we had to pack up and come home and be with Dad. The Prince understood. He shook my hand and said, I'm in the circle of trust and I'm part of his family. It's something I heard he doesn't say very often to many people, so I've been invited back many, many times. When you live like a prince for a couple of years and come back and be a pauper in Australia, you realise how wonderful it was. We left behind a $1 million contract and we came back and won the inaugural $1 million chase in Australia.
Mystic Right digging in, a dream, now a reality. Mystic Right, brilliant.
I believe in God. I think it's just God saying that we've done the right thing.
This is what it's all about. Peter Lagogiani, he is going crazy. $1 million.
To come back and taste the success I've had, again, I'm pinching myself.
I came home from Dubai for Dad. This one's for him. Thank you. This is what Greyhound racing's all about. This is it.
I've been lucky enough to win $2 million chases.
Handsome Prince for Peter Lagogiani. He has done it again.
Both times we shook our heads and thought, no, we couldn't win it, but the stars aligned on the night and the dogs did everything right. We didn't do it with the top dogs. We did it with just the average dogs, and that success was even sweeter for us. So now that we've got the elite dogs, you know, we'd like to make it a three-peat. In the Ladbrokes $1 million chase this year, we have Postman Pat. And we got Postman Pat the other day. I couldn't believe Jason would send it to us. Still counting my lucky stars. There's been a lot of media talk about him and how fast he is.
Racing now, Postman Pat left cleanly enough wide out, and Postman Pat will burn across and lead Tom Keeping.
He's settled in really well. He's a true professional. I mean, you couldn't get a better dog.
Postman Pat, the favourite for next week. He wins it by 2, Tom Keeping.
I think Dubai has made me a better trainer and a better person and a better family man too. They taught me how to be Peter Lagogiani.
Peter Lagogiani, who has trained $2 million chase winners. The first of them, of course, was Mystic Right, who took out the inaugural running of the chase. And then a couple of years later, he backed it up with a former Tasmanian greyhound by the name of Handsome Prince. He's been the caretaker trainer for Postman Pat. He also had Umberto in his care and Stealth as well, all from the Jason Thompson kennel in Victoria. If there's one man that does know how to win $1 million chase, it's certainly PL.
It sure is, and he knows how to get them ready for the races. We've seen a couple of times before. Look, he arrived here with a big boom on him, arguably Australia's best chaser. He'd run flying figures in New Zealand back at home, but then in Victoria. Then when he went up to Brisbane, he ran 29.30 odd around Albion Park, which is absolutely high flying. And Jason Thompson, but hasn't lost anything coming up to be with Pete Lagogiani.
And Peter Lagogiani has the favourite in the Young Star, which is Rocket Riot. It's currently around the $3 quote. They got out to $2.60, just easing a touch to $3. And look, there's been a little bit of support for a few of these runners in this race, although they have been very solid, particularly number 2, and that is Fernando Quality, trained by Michelle Sultana, owned by a number of leading jockeys. I think James McDonald's in it, Brenton Avdulla. I'm not sure if they're here trackside, they might be resting up, but there's apparently some horse race on here tomorrow at Randwick.
Yeah, well, Avdulla, he hasn't come home from Honkers, so he's still over there, but I don't think J-Mac would be here tonight. No doubt he'll be tuned in, watching somewhere, getting ready for tomorrow, that little horse race, Duke.
Yeah, who knows what it is anyway. Number 1, M Grand Centre, will wear the Ladbrokes red rug, trained by Lucas Aparti. been rock solid in the market at around that $10 double figure. I got a quote, got into $9, but again, off the rails run. And again, to me, we've seen 3 races here, 3 leaders have won.
Oh, he's a lovely young pup, Duke. He's won 5 out of 9 so far. He's one of the greyhounds in this race who hasn't got a lot of high early speed. He's really strong. He was strong winning here last week in his heat from box number 1. He's going to be parked over on the rails, just waiting for the cushy suck run mid-race. He'll be really, really strong late. He's a genuine knockout chance here from that gun alley.
As I said, number 2 is Fernando Quality, trained by Michelle Sultana, Brenton Abdullah, James McDonald, Brad Candy. I saw like here a little bit earlier. Gabby Doxey, I'll ask you, $4.80 into $3.20. A couple of nervous traders at Ladbrokes if this one gets home.
Yes, it's been very well supported here, but there is 3 that have been very well supported. This is a very competitive market. The 5, Rocket Riot, and Overflow Bow as well.
All right, let's talk about Fernando Quality. What a record. 10 starts, 9 wins, 1 second, has done absolutely everything asked him.
In that 1 second, he was unlucky to boot as well. Don't worry about that. Probably a certainty beaten. He led all the way here last week, running flying early and mid-race sectionals. Came home at 11.91. He'll get stronger as he matures. He'll be fitter for that run. He was 400 metres up to 5.20, so he'll strip a hell of a lot fitter. Perfectly drawn in box number 2. He's my on-top selection.
I'm tipping, well, we know that jockeys obviously aren't allowed to bet on horse races, but given 4.80 into 3.20, they may have just opened those little purse strings that they'd have little purses and little wallets, wouldn't they?
I know they might have little purses and little wallets, but big bank balances. Don't worry about
Overflow Bow for Craig Chapello, another greyhound, won 4 of its last 5 starts, 3 out of 4 here at Wenny. All 3 in smart time, 65, 69, 75.
Yeah, he is going great guns. Geez, he's built a really, really impressive record. He settled second in the early stages last week. He took the lead through the first turn. Really progressive young greyhound, who's another with a big chance here.
Number 4, Time to Go, is a late scratching. I think this is really important and really critical. Which surprises me that Rocket Riot, Timmy, is out from 3.20 to 3.70.
Yeah, it does play into Rocket Riot's hands, the late scratching, but I think it all just depends on the box rise, Duke. He can be very, very touchy at box rise. He flew out last week, ran a 5.34 opening fraction. If he repeats that, he's unleadable, but can he do it again?
Blue Falcon, I know it hasn't got the time on the board that some of the others like Rocket Riot has done, but it's 29.81. It's got a PB here. This greyhound's done nothing wrong. 11 starts, 9 wins, and it's a $7 shot.
Yeah, another greyhound who's built an imposing record, having won 9 of 11, Duke. He's on a winning trot, 29.82 in the heat, leading all of the way. He showed a blinding turn of speed in the early mid part of the race last week, so another one who could easily lead and get the money.
Richard Muscat has Charm Outlaw and also Charm Dancer. They are both littermates by Mapunga Blazer out of Sipping Suki. Charm Outlaw won its heat in 29.85.
Yeah, another one who began well, ran an early section of 5.45, but he will need to get under that tonight to get across all the pace underneath him here. These 2 greyhounds drawn out wide, they are going to need a little bit of jamming underneath to get across, because you're going to have to be running 5.40 or under that to be leading this race.
Charm Dancer from box 8, its PB here of 29.84 came from box number 8. 3 starts back when it beat a grade 5 field, stepped up in class last week, although age restricted, a tougher race, did the job well, although the time wasn't on the board.
Yeah, look, I think she'll struggle getting across from the wide alley.
All right, Gabby Doxey, marker mover from Ladbrokes, please.
Fernando Quality into $2.70 has been very well supported here.
Absolutely smashed, 4.80 into 2.70. Timmy, your best?
Yeah, Fernando Quality from me.
Okay, I'm with Rocket Riot. This is the young star. They're being boxed. Here's Matt Jackson.
Green light is turned on for the young star. Favourite, heavily supported, Fernando Quality, box 2. They're ready. They're racing now. Rocket Riot away, flying from box 5 and will lead early on Overflow Bow and Fernando Quality, who hit the rail and is out of the race. So Rocket Riot leads and kicks right away now up to second, Blue Falcon. To third, Overflow Bow. They're followed then by Charm Outlaw, Charm Dancer and Dem Grand Centre. Off the back straight, Rocket Riot's a clear front runner, 8 or 9 in front of Blue Falcon, and they're followed Overflow Bow, but around the home turn it's all Rocket Riot. Rocket Riot goes all the way to win the young star by 6 lengths, Blue Falcon.
Third Overflow Bow, fourth M Grand Centre from Charm Dancer and Charm Outlaw. We pray for Fernando Quality, and we'll get a time through very shortly.
5, 6, 3 and 1, 5, 6, 3 and 1, the time 29.64. Unfortunately, Fernando Quality took a very, very heavy tumble. I think it may have actually hit the rails in that run to the first turn, Timmy. Let's hope that Fernando Quality is okay. But Rocket Riot, look, it's speared out. It's run that fast first split again. Look at that, 5.33.
Look, he was unbeatable when he came out running like that, Duke. If you're running 5.33 early on and you run around your 29.6, you're mathematically almost impossible to get run down because you're running 17.70 odd to the back. When he just began, it was all over. He did it here in his heat, and he's done it again in the final. The Greyhound who has run second, Blue Falcon, he's run a really, really gallant race, but he was no match for the winner. All honours to Rocket Riot.
So Peter Lagosiani trains another winner on $1 Million Chase night. Takes out the young star worth $25,000 to the winner. 5, 6, 3 and 1 are the numbers. 5, 6, 3 and 1. There's Box Cam with Rocket Riot. We saw him eyes down, and look at that. Gets plenty of room with that. That's what I say to me. I was so surprised with the blowing of Rocket Riot at the death. All right, trackside. Here's Mick Cowley with Peter Lagosiani.
Thanks very much, Duke. I was just saying to Peter, it'd be nice if they all jumped that way, wouldn't it?
Yeah, well, race 8 is what counts tonight. But no, look, not taking anything away. This bloke, we've always said he's got ability, and he's put 2 good runs together. He showed a lot of potential when he was a young pup, and just sustained an injury, and look, he's come back from it. So, kudos to the dog.
Mate, you clearly had an opinion. You put him in the city qualifiers. He could have quite easily had things worked out okay, been racing in another race tonight. Yeah, look, he loves his circuit. He really does. I mean, you can see the sections he's carved out here. That's why we held him back for that too. So, look, God has his ways, so we're happy with this tonight. He's carved out them sections, so I think they'll be hard-pressed running them tonight. Can't let you go without checking on race 8, how Postman Pat's been, how the week's been for you. Yeah, look, both dogs perfect during the week. We've done what we had to do, and let's hope we can get Jason and Siona their first $1 million purse. Mate, they've tried a few times. You've obviously told them how to do it. Well, I hope Jason's here. Look, I just hope the dog can just do what he needs to do tonight. And look, there's 7 other good dogs in the race too, so he's got to come out running just like this bloke did. And I hear there's a lot of support in New Zealand for the dog as well. The whole country's behind him. Mate, there certainly is. I think he's bigger than the All Blacks at the moment. So, yeah, look, they'll be cheering him on. I think we'll hear him from across the Tasman tonight. Good luck a bit later on tonight. Thanks, guys. Cheers.
Peter Lagosiani, who prepared the winner, Rocket Riot, to take out race number 4 on the card, which was the Young Star. Won last year by Zipping Orlando, and takes 1/100th off the race record, Timmy, 29.64. So Rocket Riot is now the race record holder for the Young Star at 29.64 after a 5.33 early split, 11.87 that run home. Ronnie Arnold's just delivered 4 donuts. That means I get 3 and you guys can share half one each.
That suits me. I've got to lose about 8 kilos.
Thank you, Ronnie Arnold. There is Rocket Rider, said to me. He just came out beautifully. Box 4 vacant underneath him. And you're right, he had to step. He's not a greyhound that can miss the start and run home, late over dogs.
Yeah, I got no doubt a lot of these greyhounds in that race, Duke, we'll see aiming up in the National Derby and National Futurity in early 2024. One of the previous winners, Federal Lily, I'm sure she went on to contest a Golden Easter egg a little later on in her career, and this is a race which has thrown up outstanding greyhounds. Zipping Orlando winning last year, so no doubt these greyhounds will go on, Duke.
310 and 170 about the winner, Rocket Riot. 170 Blue Falcon, 180 Overflow Bow, 5, 6, 3 and 1 in Grand Centre. Finishes in 4th spot. The first 4, 333. All the trees, tree. Let's hope Fernando Quality is okay. We'll try and get a report from the vets. All right, 8:27 p.m. is the time, local time, any time. here in Sydney for the Ladbrokes $1 Million Chase, the world's richest franchise race. Look at that. That is what our sky here in Sydney has been like all day. It is an absolute cracking spring night here in the Harbour City. And here is the update with the market. 245 Postman Pat, 295 JSJ, 650 Tinker Norm, $7 One Hot Bandit. Now, One Hot Bandit earlier today, Gabby was around that $10 mark, so he's met with support. Tinker Norm has also met with support.
Yeah, they have been very well supported throughout. As we know, Bella Una also had some fans into $13.
I can't believe that price, Timmy. Like, I thought it should be double that price. Like, it's a fairy tale, and we know that $1 Million Chases are built on fairy tales, but from a punting perspective, leave me out.
Yeah, I've said all along she's been the best roughie in the race for mine, but that was when she was $34 and $41, I think, earlier in the week. So down to $11. I think she bottomed out at $11 earlier, back out to $13. But she's a genuine $21, $26 chance, Bellaruna. I agree, she is getting well and truly under her odds now.
Yachi Bale, a greyhound that's won $768,000, including a Group 1 Melbourne Cup in Victoria. Between these runners, Timmy, 288 starts, 110 wins, nearly 40%. And it does prove again that the cream does rise to the top. You know, $1 Million Chase is a race that good dogs win.
Sure is. And this guy here was outstanding when he stormed home to victory last week. Here's a greyhound, I think, Duke, can't run the times of J as J, Postman Pat, if they find the lure running 29.5s, 29.6s. He's going to have to rely on the leaders to have a bit of a bump mid-race and a little bit of a jam and jostle. If there is, he could certainly storm over the top.
All right, trackside, Frankie Barrett is speaking with a legend from Penrith, Greg Alexander, and beside him is GRNSW Ambassador Ryan Pappenhausen. Let's head down to Frank with the boys.
One of my young blokes played there through the season, so I've been to Wenny Park half a dozen times already, just no dogs, but $1 Million Chase, it's the big one, and we've been talking about it on radio for months now, and it's the grand final of dogs, isn't it?
On SEN, you'll hear lots about the greyhounds there. Randy Alexander here with us, and another superstar. He's an ambassador. He loves the Ladbrokes $1 Million Chase, and he welcomes. He's on the chopsticks. Ryan Pappenhausen, welcome to Wenny Park.
Thank you. It's good to be back. I missed Wenny Park, so hopefully I can have a runner here sometime soon.
What makes you so passionate about these greyhounds? Because you're more than just an ambassador.
Oh, they're great dogs, and I've got a lot of mates up there tonight who we owned our first dog with, Gary's Gift, and just from that we sort of created a bond, and you begin to like the animal even more, not for its racing, but for their temperament. And yeah, I think all around, I think what Greyhound Racing New South Wales is doing for the sport's amazing, and that's why I'm so attached to it now.
All right, we can't let you go. 2 questions before we go. How's the leg recovering?
Yeah, it's all good. In a boot, crutches for another few weeks, I think, and then should be out and moving and doing rehab, and good to go for round 1, fingers crossed.
More importantly, a tip in the Ladbrokes $1 Million Chase. What do you like?
Oh, Pete's looking at me. I know who he wants me to say. He wants me to say Postman Pat, but I think it'll be a good battle between Postman Pat and J is J. It's a cliche thing to say, the 2 favourites, but I think if you're looking for some value, I think the number 6 had a really impressive run last week. So if you can replicate that, could be a chance, but going to be hard to split the favourites.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please thank Ryan Pappenhausen and Brandy Alexander. We'll now do the presentation to the winner of Race 4, the Greyhound New South Wales Young Star Final, Rocket Riot.
There's Peter Lagosiani with Rocket Riot, Jimmy Vescos and Rhonda behind him, who own Rocket Riot. I know they get enormous thrill out of racing their greyhounds, and again, long-term participants in the sport. And Rocket Riot is, again, a pup that we'll see and hear plenty of in the near future. So the sun is setting, the scene is being set here, Timmy. In about 30 minutes' time, it'll be where the stars race under the stars. I'd go to Gabby Doxey, but I told you, Ronnie Arnold delivered 3 or 4 donuts, and Battler and I got to look at them, and Gabby's knocked off 3 of them already. So
Jeez, you've got to be quick around here.
A new addition to the team, and she's just taking carte blanche with the food. Well done, Gabs. There is the presentation for the young star. Rocket Riot is the winner. $25,000 goes to the winner. All right. So big crowd, good crowd coming through here, Timmy. We've got plenty of entertainment later. If you're still in the area around Sydney, don't forget Shannon Knoll is playing after the $1 Million Chase. I think he's doing around about a 30 or 45 minute set. And then we'll come back with races 9 and 10. Don't forget our broadcast here at Wentworth Park for the $1 Million Chase, proudly sponsored by Ladbrokes. Gamble responsibly. All right. That's just part of the crowd. That concourse area will fill up come race time. And we are down to the first leg of the quaddie. And the real big money starts to appear now, Timmy. $100,000 goes to the winner of the Masters Meteor. And, you know, we discussed earlier that, you know, Fernando Hunter, you know, was perfectly drawn in box number 1, very short. But if he wasn't drawn in that box, he'd be a longer price. But boxers do win big races.
Yeah, they sure do, and he's a mad case for the inside alley, and he's got it here. He ran into trouble in the early stages in his heat last time out, and his run to finish second, beaten about a length, was outstanding. He's a greyhound who's capable of running the hands off the clock. He's going as pretty much, probably not as well as ever, a little bit below his best, but even a little bit below his best. He's a very, very fast animal, and he's got his alley and a deserved favourite, Duke.
All right, Rocket Riot about to head back to the kennels. We're 4 races down. The quaddie kicks off with race 5, the Masters Meteor. If you've missed any of the coverage, let's do a quick recap. Race 1 was the $1 Million Chase, Maiden Consolation. And this was taken out by a ruffian. Number 4, Cambridge King for Greg Hoare. SP'd at around $13, beating Tear Tremor, Boston Banner and Spring General. Race number 2 on the card. And all the wraps were big on Zipping Megatron. Heavily supported, got out late in the market, but absolutely demolished the field and ran a new race record time. Race number 3, this was the GRNSW Syndication race. Chris O'Brien had the 2 favourites, Quantifiable from box 1 and also Mortified from box 8. And it was Quantifiable getting the cash in race number 3. And then we've just had race number 4, which was the Young Star final, $25,000 going to the winner, which was Rocket Riot. And there's Peter Lugogiani, who we've seen footage, iconic footage of him, Timmy, dancing down the home straight. Well, you
I just got caught blowing a kiss to someone at the back. I've got a couple of fans over there.
You have got fans, Gabby. You've got fans everywhere. I'll tell you who is a big fan, the guy who dropped off the donuts for you. He's coming back. So, Timmy, now I've lost my train of thought. No. You look at this race, you look at where we're going with these races tonight, and the amount of prize money that's on offer. As said, more than $1.5 million will be distributed tonight.
Yeah, quite remarkable prize money, Duke, considering where we were 6 or 7 years ago, and we've got $1 million to the winner race on tonight. But even all of these other races, $100,000 to the winner of the Sydney Cup, the Meteor, and then the other races, the 25s and the 15s. Quite remarkable prize money, and it is a great time to be involved in greyhound racing.
It sure is. Prize money at an all-time high and will only get better. All right, race number 5 on the card is the Masters Meteor final. Was first run in 2018, the first time we staged the $1 Million Chase. On that occasion, Evelyn Harris took it out with Cosmic Bonus. The 2023 version, Timmy, again, boxes are so critical. Fernando Hunter, that red light was flashing on his head after he finished second. But that's his racing style. He drops out and flashes home. A desperate fence.
Drawn to get the run of the race here, Duke. Better pace in box 2, 5, 6, and then wider out. He'll be just smoking his pipe back on the inside through the first turn, just waiting for the run. And the best part of his race, Duke, is from the first corner to the top corner, where he absolutely lets go. He can run amazing sectionals when he's building up the revs. Market now, I think probably to the price he should be. He did bottom out, I thought, around the 240 mark. So he's won 3 from the inside, 3 from 5 from box number 1. He's drawn to win the race, Stu.
Gabby, he's on the drift. He's 240 out to 280. Where is the money coming? in this race?
Well, I mean, it's an interesting market. I can't say they're really coming for too much. He is still the best backed runner here. He was 270, as you said, out to 280. Zippy Tesla has gone the other way as well, 390 out to $4.20. Stout Manelli has been firm enough at the 550, but I can't say there is anything else moving much at the moment.
Dave Gale, of course, from Victoria, a man who has tasted success at the highest level, prepared the likes of Uphill Jill and My Redeemer. He's got two runners in this race, Timmy. They were both impressive in their heat wins.
Really impressive. Stout Manelli, he's my on-top selection for the race, Duke, but when I did the form earlier in the week, he was $11 and $12, $13. And he crunched today into around the $5 or $6 mark. And what is he now, Gab? He's $5.50. So he was my value play of the evening, but he's nowhere near the value he was a couple of days ago. But he was really good winning first up here in $29.90. He'll take a lot of benefit out of a look around Whitworth Park, and he's a genuine chance of cutting and running here and leading. And if he does, he can pinch it rolling along on the lure.
All right, Daryl Thomas is handling Fernando Hunter, prepared by his partner Michelle Sultana for Brenton Avdallah. Good luck if you're tuning in, Brenton, with Fernando Hunter. One of the most excited people I spoke to on heat night was Justin Thorpe. Sutton Stanley was a 40 and 50 to 1 shot, Timmy. Won it straight into the final. Now hunting for $100,000.
Yeah, great little story for Justin to be in the final. Look, she'll need to run a career PB. She ran 30 and 41 winning her heat. She'll need to break 30 seconds, and she's got to improve many, many lengths.
Number 3 is Zippy Tesla, and prepared by Shane Stiff for the Daily Boys down in Victoria. Again, a Greyhound, I thought, 2 starts back, very disappointing when it ran midfield. Before that, it had run into Aston Ulysses and Aston Barak. 2 Greyhounds it's facing again tonight, but its run in the heat was very impressive.
Yeah, super run in the heat. He's a Greyhound with not a great deal of early dash, but he's really, really strong at the end. He probably should have won that qualifier when he went down narrowly to Aston Ulysses. He just needs a little bit of luck through that first turn, through the catching pen. If he does get the green lights mid-race, the leaders better look out.
Hilltop Jack, $7 out to $10. The first of Dave Gill's runners, prepared by him for his wife Rose, and 30 fence, really strong win.
Yeah, really was too, Duke. He got a run through at the first turn, so he did have a bit of luck in running. He will need it here as well from box number 4, but he hasn't got a great deal of early pace directly underneath him, which will help him in the early part.
The value runner for me is definitely Aston Ulysses. It's had 10 goes here for 6 victories, 29.93, 29.96. Its last 2 wins here. Obviously, the middle draw is the big negative.
Yeah, shooting for the hat-trick, but he's a reliable beginner, Duke. He's got a great turn of speed. He's got a early fraction PB of 5.39. If he can repeat that, he can certainly lead this field. If he does lead, he'll be hard to run down.
Stout Manelli for Dave Gill, a 29.90 winner from box number 2. This Greyhound's won 41 of 81 starts.
Yeah, he's a real race dog, this guy. He's my on-top selection. Gritty win here last time out. He can go back-to-back.
We go to number 7, and that is Lily Manelli for Jetta Cutlet from Queensland.
Look, she needs to improve on the clock. She's got the speed to lead, but has got to improve the run home.
Aston Barak at $6. Market mover from Ladbrokes, Gabby Doxey.
Fernando Hunter has been slightly easy. Still our best back runner. Stout Manelli throughout has been the best. 13 into 650.
All right, I'm with Fernando Hunter.
Stout Manelli for me.
Here's Matt Jackson.
Favourite box 1, Fernando Hunter, set, racing. He was away cleanly enough, Fernando Hunter. Out fast, deep out, Aston Barak looking for the lead, but Stout Manelli will push through, and Stout Manelli leads Aston Barak. Fernando Hunter's right there, stalking a length away. Up to 4th placing, Lily Manelli, there followed Aston Ulysses. Well back, Hilltop Jack, Sutton Sandy, and Zippy Tesla. Stout Manelli led off the back, just slipped off the rail, and Fernando Hunter went to pounce. He's driving hard the inside, and it got tied, but Fernando Hunter, he drove through with that great will to win, races away to win the Masters Meteor. Fernando Hunter beats Stout Manelli, 3rd Aston Barak, 4th Hilltop Jack from Zippy Tesla, then Aston Ulysses, Lily Manelli and Sutton Sandy. And this will be an emotion charge Masters Meteor win. Number 1, Fernando.
1, 6, 8 and 4, 1, 6, 8 and 4, and Fernando Hunter for Brenton Avdallah, Michelle Sultana and Daryl Thomas. takes out the Masters Meteor, $100,000 to the winner. Timmy, he actually began really well tonight.
He began probably as well as what he can begin. He just stayed nailed to that rail. He got the run through, working to the back, and he was parked on Stout Manelli, and he just persevered. He persevered for that inside run. Stout Manelli drifted off a little. He got the inside run. He zoomed through, and that was the end of the section. He began to pull clear in the latter stages. 29.87, 5.47, 18.09, home at 11.78. And have a look at him there. He's scraping paint on that home corner, Duke.
1, 6, 8 and 4. And as we mentioned pre-race to me, like if he draws box 5 or 6, he's not a $2.70, $2.80 chance. He's a $5 or $6 hope.
Yeah, he would have been around at about that price. He just had his alley. Punters saw that and they rallied behind him. He was always solid in, solidly supported all the way through betting, and he's got the money and got the job done for punters. And Fernando Hunter registers win number 24, and there's no doubt Brenton Avdulla would be tuned in from Honkers cheering that Greyhound home, who is named after his young son.
All right, trackside, Mick Cowley. How happy is Michelle Sultana now, Mick?
Mark, she's very happy here at the moment. Congratulations, Masters Meteor champion. That's fantastic, isn't it?
It's what we've been aiming for all year, so it paid off.
It's just been an amazing dog for Brenton and for yourself and for Daryl. He just puts in all the time, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, Daryl's mum bred him, like at home. So, yeah, Daryl's had him ever since he was a baby, and he's come through so much and been bitten by a snake and still coming back and winning all those races, and now he's going to go out with a bang.
You say going out with a bang. Is this potentially it, or potentially could we race on a few more Masters races?
No, I think we're going to give him a spot on the couch in the side.
Brenton obviously is the owner, or one of the owners. He'd be watching in Hong Kong, no doubt.
Yeah, Daryl spoke to him today, and he was all ready to sit down and watch all the races.
He's incredible. He's really passionate about greyhound racing, isn't he?
Yeah, he loves it. He really does. He didn't get a ride in the Everest, otherwise he would have been here. So
that would have been a handy double.
Yes, it would have been.
He named this dog after his son Hunter as well. Makes it even more special, I guess.
After little Hunter, yeah. So it's got its meaning to everything that this good dog does.
A few years back, Daryl picked up $100,000 for running second with Sherry in the $1 Million Chase. Nice to win one for $100,000.
Yeah, it is nice.
Congratulations, well done. Go celebrate.
Thank you.
Michelle Sultana, the trainer of number 1, Fernando Hunter, who takes out race 5, the first leg of the quaddie. More importantly, the Masters Meteor worth $100,000 to the winner. And dividends look this way, $260 and $150 about Fernando Hunter, $2 for Stout Manelli. And also Aston Brack, Hilltop Jack finishes 4th, 1, 6, 8 and 4, the first 4. Pays $235. And we just heard Michelle say that may be the end of Fernando Hunter's career, and what a career it's been to me.
Yeah, 53 starts, 24 victories, 12 minors, and if he does go out after tonight, what a way to go. He's won just over $210,000 for connections, and he's been a marvellous greyhound. As Michelle said, he's had a lot of things to contend with throughout his career, just to get back to the races and get back. He's done that with a bang. Look at that rails run he had down the back, Duke, stalking the leader and just too strong.
I tipped him, I backed him. I never thought he'd be a length and a half off him at the first turn, but.
Yeah, well, you're pretty happy with yourself mid-race. Just parked right on Stout Manelli, who's not an overly strong greyhound, and he just couldn't hold him off. And there's that sniper cam. Have a look at this, Duke. He began a heck of a lot better tonight than what he did in his heat. He walked out in his heat, and tonight he began on terms.
He did. He took full advantage, and we say it so often, Timmy, in our coverage, the boxers win big races, and that's exactly the case. Still have to have the ability, but obviously look at him there, just punching up, sights the arm, sits a length behind Stout Manelli, and then when they get down the back straight, you knew he was just going to wait and wait. He was not going to go around that dog.
He was persevering, and gee, there aren't too many more hard railers than Fernando Hunter. He was basically scraping paint the whole way around this track, and as we look at him coming to the home corner now, He just sails to the top. Good night, nurse.
Fernando Hunter takes out the Masters Meteor and in the process banks another $100,000. 1, 6, 8 and 4 the numbers to the Masters Meteor. That's race 5. We're already up to race 6, which is the Group 2 Sydney Cup. It means we're only 3 races away from the Wells of Richest for entry race. Night is falling here in Sydney town. This track is absolutely glowing. So too is the city of Sydney. Is there a better sight than you'll see than that? Absolutely magnificent. Even as a Queenslander, Gabby Doxey, surely you've got to admit.
It's outstanding. This is outstanding. Look, I highly recommend everyone make an appearance in years to come.
Hey, Duke, I don't think this will be the last time that Gabby will be back to Wentworth Park. I think she's enjoying the night here tonight.
I tell you what, there's people here screaming out at us, Timmy. We haven't had that unless we've not tipped winners.
Normally they're over the fence. They're throwing eggs or rotten eggs or tomatoes at us.
They're blowing kisses tonight.
And not to Duke or I.
All right, the entertainment is roaring here at the McClimats at Wentworth Park.
Sideline Creek in the silence, where it's quiet enough to listen to your heart. You might need a little time away with me. We'll light a fire and sit under the stars. What are you waiting for? I got everything you need more.
There's a big crowd here at Wentworth Park. They are getting right into the entertainment. We've got the McClimats on at the moment. We've got Shannon Knoll, What About Me, a little bit later after race number 8 on the card here at Wenny. So if you are in the area, pop on down. Race number 6 is the feature event and the only event on the card over the 720 metres. And it is the Group 2 Sydney Cup final. It's over the 720 metres. Doha Bale is the one that they all want. Zipping Vanessa Battler. I've got to say, I'm really surprised at the blow in the market for a greyhound that is top quality here at Wenny over this trip.
Oh, she's got out to a backable price now. I think it was a bit of a little bit of an overreaction with that opening market. She was impressive, but she went up $1.50, $1.60. She was always going to drift when she opened up at that price. I think she's a genuine even money chance. So getting $2.30 now, I think you're getting overs. Zohar Bale was always going to firm. He went up around the $5.50, $6 mark. He's drawn box 1 where he wants to be, and he'll take a stack of benefit out of his first look around here last week.
Number 3, and that is Ritza Piper. Gabby, heavily supported, really solid in the market.
Very solid. 450 into 440 has been solid throughout today, but honestly, there is 4 runners they want here, and that's the 7, the 1, the 3, and the 2.
So Valpolicella, named after a wine region in southern Italy, in case I haven't mentioned that earlier tonight. $7.50 into $5. Trial really well here, Timmy, before finishing 3rd in its heat run.
And her heat run was really good, Duke, after beginning only moderately. She's normally a bit better beginner than what she was in her heat. She was beaten 14 lengths, nowhere near the winner of Zipping Vanessa, but her run was really solid. And she's another who will be better now after a trial and a race here. She's effectively 3rd up at the track, so she'll be better for those couple of runs.
And we also mentioned earlier in the coverage about the likes of, the calibre of greyhounds like Zipping Kansas and Corborn Magic at, $21, $23, $26. You go back 6 months and say these greyhounds were either recognised or they were the best days in the state.
Whatever way you lean in this race, whether you back Zohar Bale or Ritza Piper, Valpolicella or the favourite Zipping Vanessa, you need to have a little bit on Zipping Kansas, a little saver bet. He's a greyhound who could go bang straight to the top and run 41.4 and just blow them all off the park, and he's at $20+.
Only a little bit, because he has been a money muncher throughout his career.
The
bookies love him.
Absolutely, they do. Look,
Ladbrokes have got a monument, I think, up in
no doubt they would have. Like, he went around $3.60 in his heat, albeit from box number 1. But, Duke, he's gone around here at very, very skinny odds in big races, Zipping Kansas. His win here 2 runs ago over the 520, 29.69, flying run. As I said, he's not my on-top selection, but you've got to throw something on him at the price.
Yeah, and I'm with Corborn Magic as well. Look, I know he's not a 41.4 dog, but he's got a great record at Wentworth Park. Spoke to Andy Lord about him earlier this week, and again, Andy's really been in a bit of a conundrum about him. He just can't seem to work the dog out. He's tried a lot of different things with him. It hasn't worked, but Corborn Magic on his night is as good a stayer in New South Wales. Here is the presentation for the Masters Meteor. And there is Michelle Sultana, front and centre, with number 1, Fernando Hunter, who collects the $100,000 winner's cheque. So well done to Michelle, Daryl, and also Brenton Abdullah, the owner of Fernando Hunter. And race number 6, which is the Sydney Cup, is due to go at 7:49 p.m, Timmy, so we're around 10 minutes away. Let's update the market as we head out from the CBD of Sydney and, of course, Centrepoint Tower. 350 about Zohar Bale. Zipping Vanessa now starting to firm a touch. Got out to 230, back into 225, now out to 230. Ritza Piper, Greyhound I like, Timmy. I think she's a really underrated stayer. Two starts back, she beat Vanessa at the Gardens on merit. 460. I'd love to see her just come out running and get onto the fence.
She makes her own luck. She's a fast beginner, good turn of speed, and she just keeps on rolling along when she does find the lure jerk. She absolutely relishes racing here. She's been in the money 15 of her 17 tries at the track and trip. Absolutely loves this joint, so she could easily ping to the front and run her rivals ragged, Duke.
All right, number 2, Valpolicella, is prepared by one of the masters of the training rinks in Australia in Tony Sammet. Simon Orchard is speaking with him now.
Tony, you were just telling me about the name, mate, and the owner who lives just down the road.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Sandro Bacchini. He's very well known in the greyhound circles in New South Wales, and he's been in the game for about 30-odd years, and this is the best dog that he's owned, and he's just excited being in the race, let alone win, lose or draw. I'm so pleased for him that he's got one in it.
Yeah, I can imagine she's been the subject of some good market support. What do you think tonight?
Yeah, well, this is the first time she's drawn close to the rail. She's won a few 700s at Albion from the middle boxes outside. She's a smart dog in a field, like she'll go, most of her wins, she's gone round dogs at Albion Park, but she has won coming inside of dogs as well, so she will, if she gets a run, she will use it. She's not like we could say a mad wide runner or a mad railer, so I hope she gets a bit of luck in the run early.
Yeah, fair enough, mate. Valpolicella all round if she gets up. Best of luck.
Yeah, thanks for your help, and best of luck to all the finalists in the race, and also to the finalists in the $1 Million Chase. I'm certainly, for me brother Michael, he's the only Queenslander in it, so they don't like it down here when the Queenslanders take their money, so 3 cheers for Queensland. But I won't forget all the others in the race. Good luck to them.
Well said, mate.
No worries.
Tony Sammet with Valpolicella there, and as said, he's carrying the hopes of Queensland. I don't know who's got more supporters, Valpolicella or Gabby Doxey here at Wentworth Park. What have you done, Gab? We've never had this many guys around a broadcast area ever.
Oh, look, there are a couple of Queenslanders there, so they've popped over and said hello.
Right. They're on Sydney time or Queensland time now?
Not too sure.
They're having a good time. There's a big crowd up here on the top landing of the Wentworth Park Grandstand. Timmy Newbold, let's talk about the Sydney Cup. Again, when you look at this, there's a number of quandaries. Who does lead? Can Zipping Vanessa land up near the pace from box number 7?
In my view, there's only 2 leaders in the race. It's either Ritza Piper or Zipping Vanessa. They're both reliable beginners. They've got that early speed. Zipping Vanessa's opening fraction in her heat was 16 dead. Now that would nearly win you a 280 metre race here, running 16 dead. Ritza Piper ran 16.19, so she was a couple of lengths slower to the judge on the first occasion. But in my view, they're the only 2 genuine leaders in the race. Zohar Bale will show more pace than what he did here last week, drawing box number 1. I think box 1 will bring him out much better tonight. So I'm reading the race. Ritza Piper and Zipping Vanessa looked on. Scotch is another greyhound who should roll forward, and Zohar Bale won't be too far away in the first couple of 100 metres, Duke.
Gabby, before we go through them runner by runner, Zohar Bale, they bet $4 into $3.40, now into $3.30.
Has been very well supported here today and continues to firm. I will say Zipping Kansas in the last couple of minutes, $23 into 20. There has been a little nibble around.
All right, Zohar Bale, Timmy, this greyhound's a 20-time career winner. It was on debut here at Wentworth Park when it finished third behind Ritza Piper. Had box 8 on that occasion. Go back to the start prior, it won at Sale. It had also won its 3 previous runs at that, including a Group 3 event at the Meadows.
Yeah, he's won 10 out of his last 12 starts, Zohar Bale. He's a real winner. He was only moderately away, and then he copped a couple of bumps in the early stages here last week. He was back to near last. He worked home solidly to qualify. He's well drawn box number 1 now. He'll take a lot of benefit out of a run around here at Wentworth Park, and he is drawn to go very, very close.
And the same with Val Policella, who trialled well, ran 41.8 in a trial and then finished third. And we just heard from Tony Zemmer. Ritza Piper, this is the greyhound I like. I think she can find the fence. I think she can find the lead. As I said, go back 2 starts and she beat Zipping Vanessa at the Gardens on at Merritts, running 41.83, then came out and ran 41.87 last week, albeit 4 lengths slower on the clock than what Vanessa ran.
Yeah, great record at the track and trip. She's only missed a place twice in 17 runs over the 720 metres here. She ran an opening fraction of 16.19. Here winning a heat where Zipping Vanessa went 16 dead, but she's probably a more reliable beginner than Vanessa. She barely ever misses the jump Ritza Piper. She's one of our leaders. She's got a tremendous chance.
One of the roughies in the race is number 4, Locked On Scotch, trained by George Kentsidis. 3 starts back at one at Sandown over the 5.95, albeit in moderate time. Then finished 4th, beaten nearly 10 lengths. Will need to improve significantly.
Will need to improve on the clock, Duke. Did show a good turn of speed in the early and mid part of the race, but got very tight in the latter stages. Needs to make up many lengths to turn the tables on Ritza Piper alone.
All right, go back 14 months and Zipping Kansas had everyone talking. He made his debut here over the 700, ran 41.44. Unfortunately, he hasn't come up to that mark since then.
Yeah, if we go back to then, Duke, he was probably one of the most anticipated greyhounds to get up to the 700 metres for a couple of years, probably longer. Geez, he had a big boom on him. He can run amazing times when he's on his best behaviour. He's getting out to it. He's at a ridiculous price. You've got to have something on this guy because he's 20 to 1 because he could lob straight to the top and run the hands off the clock.
Well, let's go back 2 starts. I know it was a Masters event over the sprint here. 5.63, only moderate, not brilliant. But if you transfer that into a 720 metre race, he's right up there near the lead off that early time.
Yeah, 29.69 overall. And if you go back 5 runs ago, Duke, he was contesting a race at Albion Park. Locked On Scotch went around in that race as well, but he was a $3 favourite in that race, Zipping Kansas. So he's a greyhound. If you go through his SP profile throughout his career, oh, geez, it'd probably be hovering around the $3 mark, possibly shorter.
That's why I say I think Ladbrokes got a statue of Zipping Kansas in the foyer up in Brisbane. There has been a little bit of money for him, Gab.
Yeah, there absolutely has been, now into $18 from 20 a couple of moments ago. This is a very competitive market. Zipping Vanessa has been slightly easy, now out to $3. Zohar Bale at $3.20. Ritza Piper has been very solid at the $4.40, and of course Val Policella $7.50 into 5 as well.
Corborn Magic, another of the forgotten stayers, and look, they become forgotten with when their form drops off, but you only got to go back 3 starts. He won a 600 at Nowra, which was a handy run. He then ran 3rd behind Bandit Jane at Dapto, where she just went outside the track record. It's been a long while between drinks for him here at Wenny. He's a 10-time winner at the Track Battler, but if he got back somewhere near his best, which is he's got a PB here of 41.6, he's competitive. He's another dog at $27. Just throw $5 on him.
Yeah, he's a greyhound you could easily save on in the race, getting out to a very, very big price. I'm actually shocked at the drift of Zipping Vanessa. She went out up a ridiculous price, around the $1.60. She was always going to get out. I thought she was around an even money chance. Now she's getting out, Gab, what, 270, 280?
She's popped back in now into 260. She was out to 3, however.
Well, that's quite remarkable, getting out to $3 after a blinding 41.54. She's my on-top selection, Zipping Vanessa. Don't worry about the drift in the market. You're just getting a much better price than what I think she should be.
6 wins from 8 starts here, a PB of 41.54, came in the heat last week. My Catalina for Dustin Drew, up from Victoria, a $46 chance. Gabby, we'll go to you early. The market mover for the Group 2 Sydney Cup.
Will be Zohar Bale, $4 into $3.20, very well supported.
Timmy, again, Vanessa drifts out to $2.80. She's your on top tip.
Oh, she is, Duke. Remarkable drift. Got her clearly on top, Zipping Vanessa. If you want to back a roughie, you've got to have something on Zipping Kansas, currently around the $23 mark.
All right, I'm with number 3, Ritza Piper. It's got a great record here at Wentworth Park, where she's had 17 starts for 9 wins and 6 minors. Expect to see her somewhere up near the lead wearing the white rug, and also Zipping Vanessa wearing the black rug. We expect those two to map to the lead in the early stages of the Group 2 Sydney Cup. It is one of the feature events. This race has been won by some of the greats, including Zoom Top. Greyhounds being boxed for the 2023 renewal. Here's Matt Jackson.
He comes into the red. Heavily back since markets went up 6 into 3.30 as the green light is turned on. This is the Group 2 Sydney Cup, and they are set to run. Ready. Racing now. Ritza Piper bounce well, box 3. Zohar Bale out fast and coming across. My Catalina deep out, and there was a bit of trouble at the first corner. Ritza Piper will lead from My Catalina, and Whiter Zipping Vanessa's making ground quickly. Locked on Scotch fourth, the rails. There followed Zohar Bale, Valpolicella. Well back in the field, Zipping Kansas out the back as Corborn Magic. To the back straight now, and Ritza Piper joined and headed by Zipping Vanessa, and the favourites dash to the lead. My Catalina win a miss. Getting up on the inside, Valpolicella and Zohar Bale. Zipping Vanessa broke away off the back, opened up by 5 on Ritza Piper. There followed Valpolicella and Zohar Bale, but it's all Zipping Vanessa, the favourite, brilliant in the Sydney Cup. Zipping Vanessa easily over Ritza Piper, Valpolicella and a luckless Zohar Bale. There followed by Zipping Kansas, Corborn Magic, locked on Scotch. My Catalina has completed the race. The time around 41.7.
Zipping Vanessa, she went past Ritza Piper down the back straight. I was on Ritza Piper, Timmy, and I was very happy with myself at the winning post the first time. I saw Zipping Vanessa coming out wide, making a run. She's just gone straight past her.
It's actually funny, when you went back and had a look at their runs last week, Duke, from the winning post to that point in the race, the top turn you're just alluding to, she went 5 lengths quicker than Ritza Piper. So she went up and around her. So basically repeated what she did time-wise, what she did in the heat. Oh, she had to work overtime to get into that position, Duke. She was moderately away, but she had to work around them. And once she got into second position, those afterburners kicked in and she went bang mid-race. And that's where she won the race.
Of course, she won the New South Wales state distance final here before going down to the Meadows. That was very impressive. The race time of 41.81. Ritza Piper lost no admirers, just beaten by a better greyhound on the night. Valpolicella finishes in 3rd spot, and Ladbrokes have got the cash with Zohar Bale finishing 4th, heavily supported in that gap.
Absolutely, and as Tim said, Zipping Vanessa out to $3, and as she finished at 3.
Silly price.
Unbelievable. Went up, as we alluded to before the race, went up a ridiculous opening quote of $1.60. She was a genuine, it's all right to say it after the race, and I don't want to be one of those people, but in my mind, she was an even money chance, and she's got out to $3 at the end. A great price if you did follow Zipping Vanessa.
All right, here's Courtney Barnes with Mick Cowley.
First of all, an embrace. Congratulations, Courtney. That's fantastic. Sydney Cup win. And she did it not leading from in front.
She did it. Yeah, no, I'm wrapped. She, I knew having box 7, obviously not the ideal box, but if she jumped the way she did last week, I knew, she'd be unstoppable. She'd be a good chance.
She's just stuck at it as well, Whilst Ritza Piper was out in front, she just ground away.
Yeah, she's a true stayer. She's got heart. Yeah, I knew she'd get up there.
Is that one of the first big feature race wins you've handled?
Oh, for me, yeah. Yeah, it is. That's my biggest. But tonight was a bit more special. I'm glad that we took it out tonight. Yeah, it's a good one for Team Finn. Yeah.
Were there any instructions from home before you came out?
It's just like any other race. Just stay calm, do things as normal. That's about it really. But really glad I could take it home for John and Minnie tonight.
That doesn't sound like Minnie being really calm.
Yeah, no, they'd be at home screaming. You know what she's like. She'd be screaming in front of the telly.
This is it's a big night, it's a huge night. This is the second best race on the card. You must be absolutely over the moon. Congratulations.
You can tell my face is bright red. I'm stoked.
There's real emotion in this, isn't there?
Oh, there is. There's a lot of emotion in it. Yeah, I have to admit, I did tear up a little bit over there. Yeah, this race was special for me. Yeah, really wanted to take it home for them tonight, and I'm glad we did.
And she's special for you as well.
Oh, 100%. It's my mother-in-law. Yeah, and Johnny's my father-in-law. Yeah, you know, yeah.
And Vanessa's special.
And Vanessa's too, yeah.
Congratulations, Courtney. Well done.
Thank you.
Well done to Courtney Barnes, handling Zipping Vanessa, and of course prepared by the master trainer in Johnny Finn, and also with Minnie, his wife, and that was Todd Barnes there with Courtney. Again, you go back and you think of the greyhounds that John Finn has prepared, the champions that he has prepared, the stayers that he has prepared. Johnny Finn, if you're listening, I hope you're feeling well, Maiden. To you and Minnie, congratulations. Zipping Vanessa, she's 3 or 4 off Ritzer Piper here, but you saw her making that big run, into the home straight the first time around. Got a little bit wide. That was just the pace, Timmy.
That's right, Duke. This is the best part of a race, mid-race. From that home, from that winning post to the top turn where she really, really lets go. And she put Ritzer Piper away in a twinkling of an eye. And there was no greyhounds running on from the back. She was outstanding tonight. She's New South Wales' best stayer. And she's got to be one of the best in the nation now. So there's no doubt John and Minnie will begin to plot a path of feature races now, because she's right up there to do it. She's only had the 24 career runs. And she has built an imposing record, particularly over the 720 metres here, Duke. She's had 9 runs, 7 victories and 1 minor over the 720.
There is Ritzer Piper leading on our drone footage. You can see Zipping Vanessa up on her outside there. And as I said, she just lost that turn a little bit. She went from being 2 dogs off the fence to being 5 dogs, but that's just the acceleration. And you mentioned about the times that she ran down the back straight 5 lengths faster than Ritzer Piper last week in the heats and that. So Zipping Vanessa, another major victory for master trainer Johnny Finn and his wife Minnie.
And Marty and Fiona Hallinan are having a great night after Zipping Megatron won the MDC Maiden final, race 2 on the program, and of course the owners of Zipping Vanessa.
All right, we're just waiting for the presentation of the Group 2 Sydney Cup. Trainers will be coming back with their greyhounds. Look at that price. Can't believe that price. Seriously. $3.30 and $1.50 about Zipping Vanessa, number 7, $1.80 for Ritzer Piper. Val Policella runs third, pays $1.70. It's a favourite trifecta. It's a favourite first 4. They still pay all right. $87.50 the first 4 and $46 the try.
I've got to say, Duke, I can't recall a bigger drift in a big race here at Whitworth Park in years. She opened up around the $1.60 mark and has got out to around the $3.10, $3.20 fixed and has paid $3.30 on the tape. Quite remarkable. She was friendless in the betting, but she got the job done.
She certainly did. That brings us up to race number 7 on the card. This is the Ladbrokes $1 Million Chase Consolation. This for the greyhounds who finished in the minor placings here last week, or particularly those that finished second. And the favourite off the inside for Greg Stella from Queensland is number 1, and that is Magistrate. Tom Keeping has met with support at around that $6, $5.50 quote. Idolise, Greyhound I like in this at the odds at $6.50, and then $6 about Dundee Smoky for Jeff Scott Smith in Victoria. It is at $6. Gab, an early look at this market. Magistrate holds the call. Does he hold the bulk of money?
Very well supported favourite here in Magistrate. Has been solid throughout, hasn't shifted from the $2. Tom Keeping, though, has been supported as well. 7 into $5.50. Dundee Smoky, your next line of betting, along with Idolise. There was also a little nibble for Landon Vale, is it? Yeah, into $11.
All right, we've got a few Victorians here, a Queenslander, and what have we got? We've got 2 New South Wales greyhounds, I think, Timmy. We've got Isles entity for Michelle Sultana, and remember this, for Vic Sultana. So it's a real interstate affair here.
Yeah, only two New South Wales greyhounds engaged in this race. Gee, the run of the first turn is ultra important here, Duke. These are all high-speed greyhounds. The majority need to lead to win. So whatever does lead at that first corner, I dare say Duke will be going on for victory. Magistrate was just nailed and very unlucky not to make it through to the big one here last week when she led, and One Hot Bandit just nailed her in the shadows. But she's got box one again tonight, and favourite backers are rallying behind her. I think she'll be well tried late in betting due to box one.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Look, he's got it. He's got the draw. He's a greyhound that can begin fast. I backed Idolise pre-post to win the $1 million chase at around $41, and halfway through the race last week, I was pretty happy, and then it came unstuck.
Well, I was on Magistrate as well pre-post, and exactly, you know what happened there. So, of course.
All right, that is our very quick look at the $1 million chase consolation. Let's head trackside. This is the presentation for the Group 2 Sydney Cup, taken out by Zipping Vanessa.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's make some noise for Zipping Vanessa. Okay, Wendy Park, we're less than half an hour away for the Ladbrokes $1 million chase. Zipping Vanessa's got us fired up. We need to make some noise because we're going to rock on a little bit now. Brooke McClyman, Adam Eckersley warming up before Shannon Noel later on tonight.
That is the scene. That is the scene of the Sydney Cup final. Let's take a look at the market for the big one. The Ladbrokes $1 million chase for 2023. Two greyhounds have dominated betting since the box draw last week, Tim Newbold, and they are J as J and Postman Pat, who has been the series pre-post favourite for a number of weeks now. They bet $10 pre-post. He's into $2.45 tonight. He started at $1.40 in his heat win, his semi-final win, I should say.
And a very, very popular greyhound, Duke. I wouldn't be surprised to see him trim up even further as we get closer to the race. He's got a great profile. He's got a great winning strike rate. He's got one of Australia's best trainers putting the polish on him in Jason Thompson, and his caretaker trainer, Peter Lagosiani, has won this race twice. J is J. Gee, he's one of the most talented greyhounds. One of the most talented Queensland greyhounds I've seen, I think, in the last decade or two, Duke. He ran 29.45 here last week in his heat. Prior to that, his win was really good after running into a bit of trouble. I think he's perfectly drawn in box 2, J as J. It's a great battle for favouritism, but I can't see Postman Pat not starting a clear favourite.
Gabby, I got overs with One Hot Bandit, who was $10 earlier today with Ladbrokes. He's your market mover at the moment.
He is into $6 at the moment, so very well supported. Postman Pat and J as J have both been supported throughout. J as J slightly easy. There was also a nibble for Tinker Norm as well.
Tinker Norm's run last week, Timmy, it was enormous. Absolutely enormous. This greyhound is a very high quality Victorian chaser. He will derive enormous benefit from that run.
Outstanding victory. Actually going into that race, I thought it was a major risk. He did trial around here the week prior and he ran around 30-4. For a greyhound of his ability and what he's done in Victoria, it was an atrocious trial. You knew he would improve, but he's improved, 6-7 lengths. If he had drawn box 8 and he would have got clear running out there, gee, he would have been right up in my numbers, but I just think the 6 alley's a bit tricky with 4 and 5. They're going to run straight lines, so he's got to negotiate them and the drive through the first corner.
All right, Tinker Norm for Craig Burns, his first $1 million chase finalist. One Hot Bandit, of course, prepared by Andy Lord. So they are two. All right. The noise here at Wentworth Park, I haven't heard this, but anyway, Greg Stella trains Magistrate, who's drawn box 1 in the $1 million chase consolation. I'm tipping Simon Orchard. I'm hoping Simon Orchard is with him in the kennels.
Well, Greg, last week so close to the $1 million chase final. What did you make of the run, and what are you expecting tonight?
Look, he had his chance. Yeah, he looked home up the back, but the dog that beat him was too powerful at the end. So didn't jump as well as he has jumped, but he, yeah, it's a new track to him, and we just hope he can get a bit of a cleaner getaway tonight. A lot of speed on in the race, and the dog's he's travelled well and he's fine, so we're happy with him.
Who are you most concerned about in the race? And he's a current favourite around $2. Would you encourage the punters to dive in at that price?
Look, not with all the speed on in the race. Yeah, it's not a great price, but the dog doesn't know that, and he's drawn to run a good race.
Best of luck, mate.
Thank you.
Greg Stella there, who has got Magistrate in the $1 million chase consolation. A man who has prepared a lot of very good greyhounds. If you don't know the name Greg Stella, do not be put off by that. He is a very, very good Queensland trainer, Timmy.
And he's a very, very good dog, this guy. He's won 21 of 41 Duke. He's a fast beginner. He's got a great turn of speed. He was really good coming through the Casino $1 million chase series to qualify for the semi-finals. He ran 29.80 in a trial here a couple of weeks ago, but he stumbled shortly after the jump, so that trial was actually better than what it appeared, and he still ran 29.80, and then he went a little bit better, 29.69, but he was just caught in the shadows by One Hot Bandit in the heat. I think he can go one better tonight and take a small consolation.
And he's a greyhound that throughout his career he's been noted as a fast beginner. His win in the Casino regional final of the $1 million chase was outstanding. He had box 7 on that occasion, ran 27.22, not far outside the track record mark there.
Absolutely. And just drawing box number 1, Duke, he's got a great record. He's got a 50% winning strike rate from the inside alley, where he's had 8 runs. Tom Keeping is a greyhound who has got a bit of speed, but he should just run a straight line in the early stages, so he should get enough room to drive up and at least hold the lead through the first turn. Whatever does lead at the first turn, Duke, in this race should be winning it.
Tom Keeping's run last week behind Postman Pack, beaten less than 2 lengths, $34 chance on that occasion. Moves from box 3 to box 2 tonight, $7 in the money.
Unbelievable run, probably the run of his life. He's only a 9 time. I don't say 9, but when you're up in this grade, normally these greyhounds have run 12, 15, 20 starts, 20 races, but his run last week was a ripper behind Postman Pat, and he's got that soft draw. He's a great each-way chance.
Idolise, another noted lid pinger. She's had a litter of pups. She's come back racing. She's loves Wentworth Park. 6 starts, 4 wins, 1 second, including a Group 1 futurity win. I give her a real live hope in this.
Yeah, absolutely. She's a genuine lid pinger, great turn of speed, great record track and trip. She did make a golden Easter egg final here about 18 months ago, Duke. She'll strip fitter for her latest run when she was narrowly beaten.
Isles entity for Michelle Sultana, draws box number 4. We've only seen it at Wentworth Park on one occasion. That was last week, where it finished second behind Yachi Bale.
And just caught right on the peg. Very unlucky not to make it through to the big one. She's another greyhound will make her own luck. She's well drawn in the centre. She doesn't want to crash. She'll run a straight line. A little roughy.
Chris Bryden has got Volante, a Queensland greyhound, engaged. Ran 29.80, being beaten by another Queenslander in J last week.
And a really good run too. Really good run, Duke. Will be better for the outing around here at Wentworth Park. Just a tricky draw with so much pace drawn around him.
Gab, let's get the market mover with Ladbrokes as they go behind the boxes.
Magistrate, very well supported here, continues to firm $2 into $1.85.
I just saw that. It's like, oh. Timmy, we're down to number 6. Remember this greyhound, if we go back, throughout its career, 5 starts back, ran 3rd in the Group 1 Dapto Megastar.
Yeah, ultra consistent greyhound. She's another who's got great box manners, a good turn of pace. She loves racing here at Wentworth Park. She led and she was beaten by Bella Una in the semi-final. She's right in this.
Landon Bale looking for a change of luck. It's been runner-up at its past 4.
Yeah, she had every hope to get home in moderate time, 30.03 here in a semi-final. She needs to improve on the clock.
Dundee Smoky showed a heap of toe in the heat and regional final at Wagga, also showed plenty of pace last week. Dundee Smoky, I should say, finished behind, has ability from box 8, makes the task a bit harder.
Oh, yeah, but if they jam underneath, he could well get the fly at the first turn, Duke.
All right, your tip?
I'm in the corner of Magistrate. He's got the alley.
All right, I'm with Idolize. Good luck. This is the $1 Million Chase Consolation, which means we are one race away from the big one. Here's Matt Jackson with his call.
They're set to jump. Ready. Racing now, Magistrate slow. Idolize pinged out, leads early from Landon Bale and wider Dundee Smoky. Magistrate strung up on the rail 4th. They're followed by Tom Keeping. Next, Remember This, Isles Entity and Volante. So to the back straight and Idolize leads. Magistrate got up on the inside and Render second a length away. They're followed Landon Bale and Dundee Smoky. Dat 4 have got it between them at the home corner. Idolize, she cornered by 2 Magistrate, who tries hard, but he can't get Idolize, who goes all the way to win the consolation. Idolize beats Magistrate. 3rd Landon Bale, 4th Dundee Smoky. They're followed by Remember This, Volante, Tom Keeping and Isles Entity. The time around 29.6.
Idolize takes a record here at Wentworth Park to 7 starts for 5 wins. Timmy, she took out the Group 1 futurity. She's had a litter of pups, Gabby. She's come back to the racetrack. Great training effort. 29.63, 3.17 and 8. Few heart flutters in the run, Timmy. She wanted to get off the track, but terrific win. Well done, Peter Prosciutto.
Yeah, she is super mum now. That was a terrific performance. Mid-race, I thought, oh, hang on, Duke. Magistrate he made a stack of ground on her from the catching pen to the top turn, but then from that point on, she really dug in for the fight. She knuckled down and she was holding him in the run to the line. Super win. Quite a story. She, as you just mentioned, she's had a litter of pups. She's back at the racetrack, and here she is winning an MDC consolation at a track which is arguably, I know she's won 23, 24 races now, and she's only won 5 of those here, but arguably her favourite track.
Absolutely. We saw her, earlier in the year, I think it was, with a futurity.
That was last year.
22, what am I saying? But again, she's been a greyhound that showed her plenty of early toe. And as I said, I took the $41 pre-post to win the $1 Million Chase. Last week, Yachi Bale got her. She led up, did the same sort of thing, wanted to get a little bit wide down the back straight. And tonight, when Magistrate made his charge, I'm thinking he's just going to get underneath her and she'll be an unlucky second again.
Yeah, she's approaching 4 years of age, so she'll be eligible for Masters grade soon. I've got to say, they're just at that point in the race, Duke. Greyhound 7, Landon Bale got on her heels. That's where Magistrate made the ground on her. So she probably had the wind knocked out of her there at that point when Landon Bale got on her heels. So that probably, the win running 29.63, it's probably better than what we initially thought.
Yeah. Mick Cowley is trackside with Pete Prosciutto. Mick, give him a big hug for me, buddy.
Mate, I'd love to give him a big hug. He gave you a big handshake earlier. Congratulations, mate. Not the main event, but still a pretty handy win.
More than handy. Very happy. Really excited that she's done it again tonight. She's done everything that she's capable of doing and a bit more.
Mate, she just got a bit tired last week. Is that the case?
Yeah, it was probably the 11th. As it turned out, probably the 11-day break. I thought she'd improve tonight. The box 3 was a better box for her as well. She began better tonight, put herself in the race. So, look, I thought tonight coming down here that this will probably be her last start here, and it'd be lovely for her to win because she just loves the place. And we love coming here as well with the hype, just a great crowd and everything. So it's just exciting. How exciting that she won.
You've had a Group 1 here, you've got a win on a big night like this. It is a special place for you now, isn't it?
It is, yeah, especially with her. She's just, she is special. She makes us very happy.
It's remarkable, the fact that she went out, she had a litter, she's come back, and she's back up to top grade.
Yeah, which is, look, a bit of pressure went on when she came back because it hasn't been done too often, but she's proven that you can do it. Maybe it's just because she's one out of the box. But, it takes a bit of pressure off me, she does, I can tell you.
And if that's the last time we see her here, thank you for bringing her here. She's been fantastic for us.
Yeah, thanks for having her, and it's been a great ride with her.
Congratulations, well done, buddy.
Cheers.
Pete Prosciutto with Mick Cowley, and I remember when he won the Futurity last year, Timmy, and we were talking to him, he loves Wentworth Park. He said every time he walks onto this track, it's like, wow, I'm actually walking onto one of the most memorable greyhound tracks you'll ever walk onto in your life.
Absolutely, and what a night to walk back onto Wentworth Park tonight when the joint is absolutely rocking. As Pete said earlier, it's just said, Wentworth Park, it's just one of those, it's one of the most iconic greyhound tracks in the world, Duke. And tonight, the old girl, well, she is firing, and Pete's won another big one on a feature race night.
That means we're only 15 minutes away from the world's richest free entry greyhound race, the Ladbrokes $1 Million Chase. Gabby, just talk us through some of the markets, some of the bets here. Postman Pat, heavily supported pre-post. Jay is Jay since the semi-final, and now One Hot Bandit. Really good money for this greyhound.
Absolutely. Postman Pat did ease slightly here out to $2.70. Just popped back into $2.60 as I speak. J is J, and next line of betting has been solid at the $3. One Hot Bandit is the one they have come for, though. $9.50 into $5.50 race night. Tinker Norm has also been supported as well. So very, very interesting market.
All right, Jack Smith has got Belluna, and again it is owned by Michael Sheether, a school teacher out near Forbes, and Jack is now in the preview area with Simon Orchard.
Jack, tell us, mate, what's going through your mind right now?
Oh no, I just hope she gets around nice and safe. There's going to be a bit of pressure, and there's not a lot of early pace, but she hasn't got much either. Unless she really gets the start right, she hits and misses. Well, hopefully she hits it, but if she misses it, well, maybe she'll miss it as well.
West tonight?
Oh, just watching, I suppose, and cheering, I hope.
Biggest danger in the race, mate? Who are you most concerned about?
Oh, look, the two favourites. I think the market's got it pretty well right. You know, the two and the three, the two quality dogs. And, it just depends who comes off the mat the best, I think.
Best of luck.
Thank you. Thanks, mate.
Jack Smith with Simon Orchard. There is Belluna, who carries the hopes of everyone out in the Central West, and it's not the first time Forbes, the township of Forbes, have been in the feature race. Of course, Feral Frankie and Jungle Juice for Jack, who have had such illustrious careers, but good luck to all those kids. We saw the story on TheDogs.com.au about Jack taking Belluna into the school. All the kids got to have a little pat of it, and that's hopefully where our next, our next trainer is coming from, Timmy.
Yeah, it was fantastic to see that story, and really good vision, and it's what you'd like to see, Duke, that young kids exposed to the greyhound as an animal, but also you'd like to see if they're exposed to greyhound racing as a sport. And really, really good vision seeing that story, and we'd love to see Belluna run a very big race tonight. I think she can, Duke. I think she can.
Well, we've got three Victorians engaged in the 2023 Ladbrokes $1 Million Chase final. One of them is Tinker Norm, prepared by Craig Burns. Simon Orchard has caught up with Craig.
The box stats certainly suggest that Norm likes the 6. What do you think?
Don't mind him being out there. Speed's going to be down low. Just hopefully we get out clean and hold the young pup and Yarchi to bay, and see if we can make a move up the back, and the rest she rode, I suppose.
What's the last week been like, mate, and how are you feeling right now?
The last week's been crazy. I'm feeling pretty relaxed at the moment. So, yeah, we've had a heap on. It's a bit of a journey to get up here and back. Just lucky I've got the good lady at home that's man and thought and doing a super job. So, yeah.
Big question, mate. What would you do with $1 million?
Well, I'm figuring it's going to take him less than 30 seconds to make it. I just hope that the wife doesn't spend about the same time to spend it. But, look, obviously it'd been a fair bit. We put a lot in to get to where we are with these guys, and it'd be nice to get some back as well. Yeah.
Well said. Best of luck.
Thank you. Cheers.
Craig Burns with Tinker Normus said to me, I know it didn't put the time on the board in the semi-finals, but his run was enormous.
Yeah, he's a real race dog, Duke. As we mentioned earlier, he trialled here a couple of weeks ago, only average time in that trial, but he's a real race dog. He loves racing other greyhounds. He was enormous, storming to victory in the semi-final. He's going to need luck from the tricky alley, but if he does get the right runs through the first turn into the back straight, and he's got fresh air, the leaders will know he's in the race.
And he's been rock solid in the betting, Gab, with Ladbrokes. $7, $7.50, $7, $6.50, $7.
Absolutely. As mentioned before, such a competitive market, as it should be, and a very, very exciting race.
All right, Simon is with Clint Haslett now, talking about the chances of Hasability.
We're not far away. Clint, how are the nerves at the moment, mate?
The nerves are good. Big outsider, so no pressure on us. Let's go out there and run his race.
Your old man said it this week at around 40-1. There's no pressure at all. What do you think needs to happen in the first 50 metres if he's to win?
He needs to come out a bit better. He's been missing it, but he improved last start, and we haven't seen the best of him yet.
What's the journey been like? Obviously debuting in February, now you're racing for $1 million. What has the last 7 or 8 months been like for the Haslett family?
Oh, he's just taken us on a great journey, and hopefully many more to come.
Can't wipe the smile off your face, mate. Best of luck.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
We talk about fairy tales, Tim. That would be one with Clint and his dad, Stu, with, as I said, people that have been involved in greyhound racing. Well, I've been in it for 50 years. I'm sure Stu Haslett's been in it for as long as I have.
Absolutely, a real family affair. And even their owner of the greyhound, Andrew Fennick, he's been in the game for a long, long time. I met Andrew probably about 14 years ago, and there's no more passionate man in greyhound racing than Andrew, and I know he got a big thrill when he won last week to be in the final, because he was here for the box draw, and he had a smile spread right across his face when he came up for the box draw.
Well, in May last year, it was She's a Pearl winning the $1 million chase. Ken One Hot Bandit winning. Same connections, same trainer. Simon Orchard is with Andy Lord.
Yes, Anthony, I'm geeing myself up. This is the big one, mate. You've been on this stage before. How are you feeling right now?
Yeah, all right, mate.
Talk us through what you hope happens with One Hot Bandit from box 7 tonight.
Just get up there early and stay out of trouble at the corner, and, mate, just whoever's in front, watch out.
You cast your mind back to She's a Pearl winning the race last year. These nights are pretty special, aren't they?
Oh, very special. You know, I mean, I've only been doing it for a few years, but $1 million it's life-changing for most people, you know.
The big question is, how low can this guy go at his absolute best tonight?
Oh, probably 29.40. I don't think times is going to be an issue tonight. I think, you know, depending on who's in front. Like I said, if Jay is in front, I don't think he can run him down, but I think I can run most others down, you know.
Good luck, my friend.
Thank you.
Good luck to Andy Lord. Good luck, my friends. I'd love to see him win it. Owned by Punters HQ, Joe Lanuti and Craig as well, and they had a big team involved in She's a Pearl. They paid big money for One Hot Bandit as a pup, and Andy spruiked it a long time before it even made its way to the racetrack. Here it is at, what is it, Timmy? Start number 20, I think it is. 11 career wins so far, 10 of those wins coming here at Wentworth Park.
Yeah, he's perfectly drawn out where he wants to be, Duke. Wide out on the track. He's got a big engine. The team paid enormous money for him in the early days to get a hold of him, and they've had one hell of a ride, and here they are.
And he's still a baby.
Yeah, lining up at start number 20 in $1 million chase grand final. So it's been one heck of a ride so far, and it could get even better in a 5 or 6 minutes' time.
Yep, $1 million goes to the winner of the Ladbrokes $1 million chase. And One Hot Bandit, Gabby, the money, look, I think he is rock bottom odds now at $6.50. I was happy to take the $10 because I thought he was the value runner in the race. $6.50, I just want to see him win for Andy.
Yeah, he's been slightly easy, $5.50 out to $6.50. Postman Pat has firmed up again, $2.70 into $2. $2.80 mark.
$21. We haven't spoken about Cumbria Kid. Again, we talk about fairy tales. Steve Fitch, you know, one of the loveliest blokes you'll ever meet in your life, actually has a Jim's cleaning business with pressure cleaning down at Narra where he trains from. Trains a team of dogs as well. They all race with that Cumbria prefix. So you see Cumbria Kid and Cumbria Lad and all that. Fitch is, again, one of the loveliest blokes. Timmy, you can never, ever discount the rails box in a big race.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you what, he's got a great record here. He's been in the money in 10 of his 19 starts. He made a Vic Peters final, Cumbria Kid, so he's a quality greyhound. He's well drawn on the rails. He's been in the money in 12 of his 16 starts from the inside alley. He was terrific running 29.84 in his semi-final. He's drawn to just park right behind the genuine speed runners here, in my view, in JSJ and Postman Pat, and he could easily get into the minor money. Whether he's got the quality or the time in him to win the race, I think he's got to run 29.5, or the winner's going to run 29.5, 29.6. His PB's 29.73, so he needs a career PB.
Number 2 is JSJ. It's owned by Lillian Jones, trained by her daughter Selena Semet, Selena's husband Mick Semet. He won the 1994 Group 1 National Futurity here with a bitch called Tardin. My only query about JSJ is that I haven't seen him come out running here we've seen him do at Albion Park. That is my only query about this dog, because his 29.45 semi-final win was outstanding.
Nothing short of outstanding. He ran 5.52, 17.79, home in 11.60 odd. He did it all the way through. He hasn't nailed the jump yet, but he's had 3 runs here now. That will hold him in good stead. 4th up tonight. I think he is ready to nail it. If he does, I think he can hold Postman Pat through the first turn. If he does lead, I don't think they can run him down.
Greyhounds are making their way to the boxes. We are only around about 4 minutes off start time here for the $1 million chase. Bellayuna, we've spoken about her. Postman Pat, Timmy, again, holds the call at $2.30, so there's money for it now. And we spoke about him earlier, but some of the times he's run in Queensland, in Victoria, in New Zealand, and here at Wentworth Park.
Yeah, he's a freakish greyhound. He's won 12 of his 16 starts in Australia. Ran blinding early mid-race sectionals, winning his semi-final. He hammered home 29.58. I think he can go quicker than that, Duke. He's a little bit touchy at box rise, but when he does get it right, boy oh boy, he's got a massive motor. He's our deserved favourite.
All right, Gab, tell us about the market move. Which of these dogs is holding the most amount of money as a liability for Ladbrokes?
Well, Postman Pat is our favourite JSJ. One Hot Bandit, though, into $6 has been very well supported throughout, so they're really coming around those 3 at the top.
Yachi Bale, Timmy, a $20 chance, $700,000 in prize money. We're going to come back to that because we're about to have the national anthem here at Wentworth Park. And the national anthem tonight here on $1 Million Chase Night will be sung by Belinda James.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, would you please be upstanding for the Australian national anthem? Tonight it will be performed for you by Belinda Adams.
Australians, all let us rejoice, for we are one and free. We've golden soil and wealth for toil. Our home is good by sea. Our land, nature's gifts, our beauty, rich and rare. In history's page, let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains and let us sing, advance Australia fair. Beneath our radiant southern cross, we'll toil with hearts and hands to make this commonwealth of our renowned our land. For those who've come across the seas, we've boundless plains to share. With courage, let us all combine to advance Australia fair. In joyful strains and let us sing, advance Australia fair.
Come on, Bernie Park, it's your turn now. Please thank Belinda Adams. Cast your eyes down now to the 520.
Thank you very much, Belinda James, there with the Australian national anthem. Timmy, we are just 60 or 90 seconds off start time. Tell me who can win and why.
Jay is Jay. He's a Queenslander who is having his 4th run here at Wentworth Park. I think he can nail the jump. He's got enough speed to lead Postman Pat at the first corner. If he does lead through the first corner, he's got the time required to win the race. I think it's
I'm
Jay
with
is Jay,
One
a
Hot
Queenslander.
Bandit. Sorry, buddy. Sorry, mate. I'm with One Hot Bandit. Just thought he was perfectly drawn. If the breaks go his way, he's a massive hope. Gabby, last word from you.
One Hot Bandit, big push into $5 here, our market mover.
They bet $10 about One Hot Bandit, owned in the same interest as She's a Pearl, who won the May version of the 2022 $1 Million Chase. This is it. This is the big one. Good luck to all connections. The Ladbrokes $1 Million Chase for 2023.
Racing now, Postman Pat only out reasonably. Away fast, Cumbria Kid down on the inside will lead to the first turn from Postman Pat, who pushed through. J.S.J. railed up behind them. They're followed to 4th, Ballaroona. One Hot Band at the outside. Next, Tinker Norm has ability. Yachi Vale last. Down the back, J.S.J. getting up on the inside of Cumbria Kid. And the Queenslanders hit the lead. They're followed Postman Pat, One Hot Bandit and Ballaroona around the turn. J.S.J. drew 2 lengths in front. Cumbria Kid's coming back. J.S.J. just in front. J.S.J. for Queensland has won the $1 Million Chase and beaten Cumbria Kid, Postman Pat. One Hot Bandit, no luck at all. They're followed Yachi Vale, Ballaroona has ability, and Tinker Norm. The time around 29.70. That is the win of a lifetime.
Oh, the Queenslanders next to our broadcasting position are absolutely going berserk. It's a massive crowd here. What a run. The way he got up underneath. Cumbria Kid down the back straight. Postman Pat hooking 3D. That is a win for the ages.
Wasn't it what, Duke? He wasn't the best away, but he drove through the first turn. He drove through the first turn, then he let go.
All right, let's head to Mick Cowley. He's with Michael Zammit.
Mick Zammit, you've just won $1 million, mate. Congratulations.
I just can't believe it. I didn't watch the start. I thought, it won't do me any good if he comes out slow. So I watched him, and I'm pretty sure when he is in a position, I thought, we're a chance of running the hole, and he just chases. It's just amazing. I just can't believe it. It's just amazing.
Mate, this means a lot because this dog is obviously your wife's father, named after your wife's father as well, owned by your mother-in-law. So it's real special, isn't it?
Oh, extremely, yeah. It's just, I'm going to cry. I'm going to put Chris Waller to shame, I think. Yeah, it's just unbelievable.
That's okay.
Yeah.
This is the biggest win of your career.
Oh, by a mile, yeah. How many people win $1 million race, Yeah.
Right. Well, there's only been 6 so far, and you're one of the 6.
Yeah, no, unbelievable. And look, I know here comes my wife. She'll be so excited. Yeah, she's a trainer, my wife. She's unbelievable. I'm surprised she's still standing up. She'll be that upset. Yeah, we just can't believe it. Yeah.
Mick, what can you say?
Thanks, Tony.
Unbelievable.
You go salute him,
Yeah.
mate.
Oh,
He used to be called Group 1, Mick. Now he's $1 million Mick. Mate.
There is Selena Zammit, and of course, Jay is owned by Selena's mum, Lillian. Her and her late husband, Jeff Jones, great supporters, great stalwarts of greyhound racing. And I think it was 1995, the Group 1 Mick won the national futurity with Tar Din. No longer Group 1 Mick, he's now $1 Million Mick. Good luck trying to get him to shout as well, Battler.
A life-changing moment, life-changing moment. What a performance, what a dog. The first Queenslander to take out the $1 Million Chase grand final, and he turns 3 years of age in just a couple of weeks, Duke.
All right, Selena Zammit has made away trackside. She's with Mick Cowley now.
You're super emotional. That's wonderful.
You're right. Oh, you want me to stay here?
You
You
okay?
right? Just take it in there,
Feels amazing. It's okay. Congratulations. Hard to put into words, isn't it? It really is. This is just an amazing feeling.
We went to Grafton. It was Grafton, wasn't it? We couldn't run third. And we were like, well, if we can't run third at Grafton, we can't win $1 million race. That was our thoughts on the way home. We were pretty dejected. And we were just so, forget it, we're not doing it. Then we slept on it. And then Plan B went into action. And here we are!
Well done,
Thanks, mate.
well done to Selena and also to Mick. That's their son. And again, Mick Semmett, Tony Semmett, they used to live all at Ulmo. That used to be Greyhound Road there. There were people like Reggie Crawford and Peter Denaro. They all had the strip. It's now an industrial area. But that's where Mick was training from. That's where Tony trained from. He trained Trojan Tears out of there. And as I said, Mick won a Group 1 here nearly 30 years ago, Battler. And here he is back with Selena, training a dog for her mum, Lillian. And they win $1 million race. And it goes north of the border. And look at the big smile on Gabby Doxey. Tell me how you're feeling as a banana bender, Gab.
It's absolutely outstanding, honestly. And credit, you can never underestimate a Queenslander, can you, in this situation? And what a tough little dog he was. So that was just outstanding to be a part of.
And a tough little dog, Gabby's right, because he didn't get it all his own way. He had to work hard through the first corner, down the back straight, Duke. He let go down the back straight and he got underneath the leader. Postman Pat was still there challenging. When he got to the top, he snuck away.
2-1-3 and 7, 2-1-3 and 7 the time, 29.76. Let's talk about Cumbria Kid. What a run by this. What was Steve Fitch thinking down the back straight when it's in front?
Oh, gee, he would have been absolutely pumped. He was travelling strongly down the back straight too, and when Postman Pat and J got straight to second and third, they only need to have a little bit of a bump and he could have got away. And he was actually coming again at J over the latter stages. What a good little dog he is, Cumbria Kid. He's got been, a half length on the line behind arguably now Australia's best greyhound, and one of the other big guns in the country is about a length away in third position. He's run an absolute bottler, the race of his life, Cumbria Kid.
Postman Pat got strung up 3 deep down the back straight. Again, full of merit he's run, but when you talk about J taking the race and taking the opportunity, and that's what he did. Postman Pat had to work a little bit harder in the run.
He grabbed the race by the scruff of the neck down the back straight, J when he let go. Look, Postman Pat has lost no admirers at all. His run was really good, Duke. He wasn't brilliantly away, but he had to work hard, as you said, down the back straight, wide out on the track where J was just punching the rails. As you can say, J is back basically last at the judge.
He is last. There's the trouble. The 4 and the 5 want to push off. One Hot Bandit actually began better than what we all anticipated. He was just outside the leaders in that run to the first turn. He's finished 4th. Again, his run was terrific as well. He's the young dog. He's the dog I want to watch in the next 12 months, Timmy. But tonight, it is all about J. It's all about Lillian Jones. It's all about Selena Semmett. And it's all about Mick Semmett as well. And $1 million is heading back over the north of the border. Mind you, I'm sure Anastasia Palaszczuk could use it to pay for a few new roads or something, Gab, surely.
There'd be something there, but look, no, that's well deserved. What a wonderful win.
It is a memorable race. As I said, it's life-changing. I've known Mick Semmett for that long, Timmy, for 35 years. I've known Selena Semmett, who, let me tell you, being very kind, Selena does like a chat. We just saw her. That was the epitome. If you've never seen Speechless, have a look at Selena Semmett post $1 million chase.
So special.
Very, very emotional scenes here now. Selena and Mick, and a life-changing moment. This greyhound, this little dog, has now won over $1.3 million, and I dare say there is more to come.
And again, you heard Selena say, they got beat. They ran 4th at Grafton. He had box 1 on that occasion. Cass Marshall ran the hands off the clock. But he had to finish 3rd to get into the semi-finals, and he finished 4th. And we heard Selena say there, we couldn't even run 3rd at Grafton. How are we going to win $1 million race? They brought him back for the city qualifiers. He won that in 73 and then 45 in his semi-final last week.
And he only won that city qualifier by 3/4 of a length. He checked off the leader at the first turn and lost all of his momentum. So that was another gritty win to get to the semi-final stage, and the rest is history now.
There he is coming out of the Wasp Bay area. Is Mick Semmett with J. Again, the run by Cumbria Kid and the thrill it must have given Steve Fitch was enormous. Postman Pat, he had New Zealand on his back. He was carrying them as well. It was a gallant effort. And then also, that's Lillian. That's Selena there. It is just amazing. And as I said, a race like the $1 Million Chase, this is what you see. You don't see this. You'll see this with Group 1 wins, but you only see this with a $1 Million Chase win, Timmy.
Absolutely. We've been lucky to see some great scenes over the past 5 years here at Wentworth Park after the running of $1 Million Chases, and we're seeing great scenes yet again tonight. And it's going north. The Queenslanders, they've finally come and taken our cash, and it's going back over the border.
Well, after the New South Wales trained Greyhounds won the first 4 runnings of the $1 Million Chase, it's gone south to Victoria with McInerney in 2022, and now here in 2023, it's going north of the border with JSJ. Look at that, just got his head up a little bit out of the boxes, and hence he was running last in that run of the first turn. 310 and 150 about JSJ, 330 Cumbria Kid, 140 for Postman Pat. You need number 7 for your first 4s, which pays $655 and change, $32.30 the Quinella. Look, we've seen thousands of races between us. It's hard to get up for them sometimes, but you always get up for a race like the $1 Million Chase, and it never lets you down.
And there's nothing better than being trackside here at Wentworth Park when we've got a crowd like we have tonight. A fun crowd. They're having a ball. They're loud, and they're cheering. And it's going to get even bigger now, Duke.
And Shannon Knoll is just around the corner. Before that, we have the presentation of the Ladbrokes $1 Million Chase. Gab, I guess it's sort of evened out throughout the night. The punters have won a few. They've left a little bit in. They got some there with JSJ.
Yeah, up and down evening for the punters, but yeah, you're right. They have won a couple there, and JSJ result.
I just spotted Bobby Gilton in there, who's been a long-time friend of the Zemet family. There's Bobby on the far left in the blue shirt. Typical Queenslander. He's short sleeves, most of here in jackets and that. It is just an amazing night. It is an amazing feeling. Okay, let's head trackside. Here's the Minister, David Hayes.
Greyhound race in the world. A great story, the winner tonight. They've done it again, the Queenslanders. They beat us in State of Origin. They've come down and grabbed the race here today. But a great story I just heard. The dog takes its name from your father, from your grandfather, and that's a great story. So congratulations, $1 million richer. How good is that?
Would you please keep the applause going for Carl DeCrew on behalf of Ladbrokes, our major sponsor of the $1 Million Chase.
Thanks, Frank. Wow, what a race. What a fantastic edition of the Ladbrokes $1 Million Chase. We're really proud to be associated with this race. It literally is a life-changing race for participants, and well done to Team Zamet. Really great performance. Ladbrokes, we kind of have headquarters in Queensland, so I guess we'll claim this one as well. But well done to all the team, and thanks to everyone for coming out tonight. It's really a fantastic night for the industry. We're really proud of our association. Ladbrokes has been a long-time supporter of greyhounds in New South Wales, and tonight is really the icing on top. So well done to everyone. Thanks to Greyhound Racing New South Wales and the team at Jabota for putting on a great night. Thank you.
Thank you, Carl. Ladbrokes doing a wonderful job in greyhound racing. Wentworth Park is alive tonight. This man's got a lot to do with it. He's very excited. The CEO of Greyhound Racing New South Wales, Rob McCauley.
Wow, Zamet family, fantastic. Well done. Here's a big thing. What an enormous effort. Well done, folks. Well done to the whole field. Have a fantastic night. Carl DeCrew will give you the silverware. Congratulations.
Thank you. We're going to bring the dogs up now, folks. Can you please keep the applause going for third place tonight, Postman Pat. And second, Cumbria Kid. And the Queenslanders have invaded. Our victor tonight in the Ladbrokes $1 Million Chase, JSJ.
Mick Samet there with JSJ front and centre. Steve Fitch left of frame. Peter Lagosiani with Postman Pat first, second and third. One Hot Bandit finishes fourth. Again, look at the jubilation and the acceleration on their face, Timmy. It is life-changing. It's $1 million. It's life-changing. It is an amazing race.
As you said, Duke, life-changing, a lot of money. It's a lot of money, but this is why these people have been in the game for so long, dreaming of this moment to come to Wentworth Park and win a race like this, and they've taken the biggest one home tonight.
JSJ, he came down here for the Easter egg heats earlier this year, and he was disappointing on that occasion. As I said, he goes to Grafton to try and qualify. Just couldn't run in the first three there at Grafton. Comes back, city qualifies, semi-final win, 3 on the bounce, 3 on the spin, and $1 million in the bank for him.
Yeah, remarkable greyhound, and he's only lightly raced, having had 34 starts. This is his first interstate trip, I believe, his second, I should say, after the Golden Easter egg, where he didn't go through that series to the semi-finals. So he'll take a stack of benefit out of this, and I would say they'd be looking.
Have a look at him.
He doesn't know what's actually just happened. He doesn't know he's just won his connections $1 million.
No,
he's a beautiful-looking dog, isn't he? Lovely.
He might know when he gets 3 or 4 ice creams instead of just one.
I love a red form greyhound. He's a beautiful type.
He sure is. The 2023 Ladbrokes $1 million chase winner is JSJ. Before we wrap up our coverage, Gabby Doxey from Ladbrokes, thank you so much for being on our coverage tonight, Gab.
Nothing short of a pleasure. It's been an outstanding evening. I'm sure I'll hopefully put my hand up to be back next year. Honestly, I've enjoyed it so much, and nice to see this side of it.
Well done, Gab. Timmy Newbold, as always, thank you, buddy.
It's been a lot of fun, Duke, and great to have a bit of glitz and glamour to our coverage.
I'm here every week. What are you talking about? Sorry.
Yeah, please.
All right, we hope you've enjoyed our coverage of the 2023 Ladbrokes $1 million chase. It's heading north of the border. It's JSJ. Shannon Knowles about to rocket here at Wentworth Park. We'll catch you next time.